Hello and welcome to Griff's Bar and Billiards here in Las Vegas, where Team USA and Team CSI are locked at 2 apiece in our pre-Party Poker Moscone Cup warm-up match. It was a great afternoon yesterday and we're set for more thrilling action this afternoon. Up to 5 matches, potentially with it being a race to 5. All matches also a race to 5. This is our lineup for the afternoon. We open with our final doubles match of the event. It's Vilmos Foldes and Alex Paguline for Team CSI against Justin Bergman and Tyler Steyer for Team USA. And then a potential 4 singles matches. We're playing all the way until one of our teams reaches 5 points to take home the trophy. I'm pleased to say I'm joined now by the 2 team captains. And first of all, I'll come to the Team CSI coach, Carl Boys. Carl, your reflections on yesterday?
Yeah, I think 2-2 overall. I'm happy with that. As long as we didn't disgrace ourselves, it was a bit of a last-minute team thrown together. But I'm happy with the way the lads have performed. Some of us have not been playing that much, so I thought we were going to get drilled. To be fair, but 2-2, I'm happy with that. I'm not so sure Johan is there.
Johan, are you happy with that?
Well, I mean, it's probably the real score that as it should be, considering the game that was played yesterday. Obviously, I wasn't happy with the end of the games. It wasn't a little bit scrappy, so I thought we lost a little bit of focus. I had to talk to the guys to make sure that everybody's taking care of himself and as a team support each other and be focused for this event, because it's for us an important practice for the Moscone Cup, so we absolutely need to be good here.
We're back at the start of a new day. Has that helped the guys refocus?
Yeah, absolutely. We woke up early this morning and make sure that we were fresh and ready to be here and beat this CSI team.
Carl, you wanted to play last night so that England was asleep, but we're a little bit earlier today and you're playing Shane Van Boening third. I guess England will be tuning in for that.
Yeah, I mean, at least I've had a day, on the table, so I don't feel as bad as I did yesterday. But I've gone out strong. Obviously, Alex is involved in the first 2 matches, so hopefully he brings them home, and then there's no pressure on me at 4-2 up.
Well, gentlemen, thank you both for your thoughts. Time now to get our first match underway. Your referee in charge of the action is Gennaro Vazquez, and in the box, Carl Boys has gone to join Nick Schulman.
Well, that is correct. We are knotted at 2-2, but the scale is about to tip as we begin round 5 doubles match. You may leg for opening break.
Good morning, pool fans, kind people. Here we are at the Moscone Cup warm-up. Main event starts the 25th through the 28th at Mandalay Bay. You can catch it on DAZN, Sky Sports, but we're down here at Griff's, all knotted up at 2-2, Team USA versus Team CSI. The legend Carl Boys just hopped in the booth, former world champion, one of England's finest, and a member of this Team CSI, giving the boys a little run, Carl.
Yeah, I'm happy with the way the guys have performed so far. Could have been 3-1 up, to be honest.
It could have easily, yeah.
But it's not, and it's day 2, and it's 2-2, and Vilmos and Alex will get this match underway.
Corner ball flies in, cue ball is settled. Little look at the 1 here. Do you stun it around, Carl? 2 rails maybe for the 3 on the side? Does it squeak by the 7?
Yeah, I think Alex has just walked round and had a look. Difficult to see if there's any kind of angle on this. Does look straight on the overhead camera, so let's just see what Alex plays. He's getting down fairly early, so unless he's playing a combo, maybe there's more gap than... Well, he's played it off the 7, so that works.
And just a friendly reminder for those tuning in, we're using a new set of balls here. We have the pink 4, which leads us into the purple 5. Purple 5 takes a little bit of time to get used to, but we're getting there. And the black and yellow 9 ball, little flavor. Nice stroke there.
Yeah, Alex Paguline, one of the best cue ball controls in the business. Leads Vilmos straight in there for this purple 5 ball. It's always nice if you can get off to a good start with the break and run. Just settle early match nerves. Key shot coming up now, looks simple, but you know yourself, it can always get away from you, this.
Nicely done.
There you can see Alex aiming low on the cue ball, so he's drawing this one. Yeah, 9 ball goes in the side. We've come up with a little nickname for the 9 ball. We're going to call it the Bumblebee.
I like that.
That's what we keep saying in the chair. Is the bumble on? It's hooking behind the bumble.
Good start for the boys, Carl.
Yeah, that's just what the doctor ordered, that 1-0, and it keeps USA under pressure. I thought Tyler yesterday wasn't in his best form, so he'll be looking for a better performance today, you would think.
Certainly, yeah, he definitely had an off match versus Folds, who kind of had an off match as well, missing that 8 ball. And then it seemed maybe a little bit of erroneous thinking. I'm not sure if you saw it if you were in the booth, but he went for this 3-9 carom that was so awkward. It looked like he could just go rail first on the combo, maybe stick the rock. Happens.
Yeah, I think everybody in the venue thought the same as what you've just said, and after the match he said, oh, I didn't even look at that, but it seemed very obvious, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it just, those oversights happen to all pool players, of course. But, yeah, it did. Steyer set to break here.
Team CSI wins the opening game, and they lead 1-0 in round 5.
Yeah, we heard Johan say in the little interview we've just done that he wasn't too happy with his team's performance yesterday. He felt like they wasn't really concentrating, so I think today it'll be a lot more professional approach on day 2.
It was a nice break, controlled the cue ball well, but alas, nothing dropped. We see Paguline at the table here. Can you roll it down to the bottom right, Carl, and kind of hold it? Does the 8 come into play? Do you come 1-2 across and maybe try to land between the 8 and the 4? It's a bit awkward.
Yeah, just heard Alex say any suggestions, but I'm sort of with you. You can't, at this camera angle, it kind of looks like you could play the shot you've just said, but it's always difficult to control that cue ball, isn't it?
It's awfully tricky, yeah.
I mean, the 1 ball definitely passes the 6. I mean, one thing I've learned is whenever I commentate on Alex Pagulayan, I never really call many of his shots because he's got such great vision.
Right. Oh.
Well, there you go, he's played it off the 6. See, that did.
I didn't try that.
He didn't try it. He didn't try it. Like you just said, him say it was.
He was
good.
playing it down in the corner, and he, yeah.
Alex, we was bigging you up then. You shouldn't have said out.
One of the best, then he's lucky. I mean, how do you beat this guy?
I shouldn't say something. That looks good on TV.
There you heard him again. He shouldn't have said that. Yeah, many a players would have just walked round as if they've played that.
Right.
I'm one of them.
Or side,
But you know, you've got to take these chances. You know, the fluke's never really a fluke unless you win the rack off
You
it.
create your own luck a little bit in this life. Looks like it might have been slightly awkward here, but Folds getting down quite quickly. Guess he can punch it over a little. Does. And boys are off to a nice start here, Carl.
Yeah, you would think it's key for Foldes to, you know, knock a few of these balls in and just get the confidence up.
Yeah, shake off yesterday a little bit, right back to work. Oh my. Little miscue.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. It's never over, is it? Unless you can win the rack, and there you see.
It's true. It's so easy to preemptively just kind of say that's good to the boys on the 4-ball and 5-ball. But lest we forget, this is very tough equipment, and other things can go wrong, as we just saw Alex miscuing. Maybe Bergman is just going to lay him up on the 7.
Extension.
The way he was eyeing it, but of course, the 5 does go straight into the bottom left. You have a preference here, Carl?
I think it's personal preference, to be honest. Some players would shoot at this, and I think I'd be shooting it, to be honest. But
Yeah.
I know, like, that's my strength, potting the ball.
Sure.
I think it's just one of them. It's funny, really. Usually when I'm sat in this position, I don't really care what goes on the table. I just talk. But then when I seen the miscue, I couldn't look at the screen. Yeah, so he did go for it, and he's overcut it. Whenever you're playing that type of shot, you want to try and catch this left-hand rail, don't you? Because you know it can be a little bit forgiving, and
A little bit.
that was never going to go. So Vilmos's chance to steady the ship. Could do with it rolling a little bit more, so it's a little bit in between, isn't it?
It is a bit of an in-betweener. Looks like he's looking at the top left, kind of natural. Maybe not. As Carl said, in between.
Is he just going to concentrate on the pot here and just kind of flick off the edge? No, he's so good with the cue ball. Needs to slow down, though. He's tried to play it positive, hasn't he? But maybe he should have just floated past the 8 the same route and just
Yeah, a bit
glance
softer.
the rail and then play the 7 in the other. But I know what he's tried to do. You want to play it at the pace that you're more comfortable with, don't you? Even though it's only the second rack, just has that sense of feel it's turning into a big one for both teams.
It's a massive rack. All racks are important in these races to 5. First to 5 points goes without saying, but every inning counts.
Yeah, that's not a bad effort from Vilmos there. I think he's left a thin edge for Tyler, but I'm not sure what he's going to try and do here.
Seems quite awkward if you go off the right-hand side of the 7 that he can see. You push it towards that top left-hand pocket. Looks like he might be kicking. It's a bit hard to tell from this angle. He's kicking behind it. And that's a great shot if it holds up. Terrific execution there from Steyer.
Yeah, I'm not so sure if he's played it that way.
He might have played it to the side rail and
Yeah.
down to kind of hold the rock, but he's still kind of
Yeah, many people would have
created
probably,
distance. And
well, maybe a lot of people would have tried to play off the edge and guarantee a kind of hit. So at least, you know, he's tried to make things happen. And
yeah.
the man that miscued in this rack,
Can he
maybe
redeem
should
himself?
take the bank on? Do you shoot at this bank and just have a go?
I don't know if he hits it with a little inside and tries to nestle him on the 9. Does he just play it to the top rail and sort of maybe try to get him on the 8?
He's having a go, and he's got it. Has he got it? Yes. I'm not biased sat here, of course.
Bias away, Carl. Nicely done. What a great little bank shot that was from Paguline. You know, watches it drop. Head was almost in the pocket.
No, I think he's just landed at that kind of awkward little angle.
Yeah. Looks like he's coming 3 rails around. Be careful, table slides a bit.
Oh, this looks good. This looks good.
Well done.
Too good.
Should
This
be
is
okay unless it's, is it a scratch perhaps in the side? If you play to just make it, it should go north of the side, right? Still a little tricky
of
though.
the side, I like that.
North of the
Never
side,
heard
Carl.
that terminology. I'm going to steal that one off you. I think the way he's jacking down, maybe the natural angle would be a scratch, so he's doing something with the cue ball.
Oh my.
Oh, wow, Alex.
Did they get away with it? They did not.
Yeah, it's worrying signs that now. We've had a miscue, and that was closer to the bank than the pot from Alex.
That it was. And a huge break for Team USA, obviously. As things were starting to get away from them, and now they're ready to knot it up if Bergman handles this. Does spin it in. 1-1, Carl.
Yeah, that was a funny old rack, that one, wasn't it?
Just joining us, this is the warm-up. The real deal starts next week, the 25th through the 28th, Moscone Cup from Mandalay Bay. You could catch it on DAZN. You could catch it on Sky Sports, brought to you by Matchroom Pool, Matchroom Multisport. Team CSI, an assortment of world-class players. Here we are, Griffs. Giving Team USA a little warm-up and giving them a little more than that, 2-2. We have ourselves a match. It's about saying.
There you see Alex trying to shake off his back right arm, just trying to get relaxed. Very edgy start there from the Hall of Famer.
And it goes without saying, but doubles does
Team CSI to break.
probably lend itself to more mistakes. Would you agree with that, Carl? Just because you're at the table half the time as opposed to 100%, so you're a bit colder than you are when you're really flowing out there.
Yeah, very difficult to get a rhythm, and I'm a big fan of Scotch doubles.
I like what you said to Oscar yesterday when you guys were playing. He was talking about kind of a nuanced positional thing with the 4 to the 5 camera, and you said just pot the ball and, you know, I'll handle it. Don't worry about it. Just confident. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of what you've got to do, but the funny thing is, you know, many people say, oh, you know, we play singles tournaments and we're not used to team, but the funny thing is, when you first start out playing pool, you join a team, don't you? So
right. It's true.
So Vilmos played rail first, and he was trying to get on the blue 2 ball in the same pocket, and he's under-hit it, so... Well, is the bank on? Does it squeeze past the 7?
Doesn't look like it does, but the way he's cueing it looks like maybe he's playing it. Does play safe.
And many times, whenever the Lion plays a safety shot, you're in jail.
This is true.
So Tyler
Extension,
grabs the jump cue as he just weighs up the type of shot he wants to play. I mean, the 2 ball doesn't pass the ball. There's a ball in the path of the 5. There you see the purple 5 ball, so he can't make that ball, can he? So it's a difficult situation.
Can he get to the right side of the 2 to maybe create some distance, or does the 7 impede that route somewhat? It is a little awkward, as you said, the 2 doesn't go by the 5, so...
I mean, if he goes off the bottom rail, he's guaranteed to hit this ball, isn't it? But
looks like that's what he's doing.
yeah. This was the problem. Can you get it safe? I don't think that's too bad. He will take that. Would you look at that?
Well done, certainly. Maybe he can see it for a look in the side, although it doesn't look like he can from up here.
I think you can sometimes don't get me wrong, whenever you're kicking at the balls, there is a certain area you want to hit this, like this one. He wants to hit top side just for distance. And it's all going wrong for Team CSI at the minute.
USA.
Generally, it usually does, doesn't it? When you should have been 2-0 up, you often find yourself going 2 or 3-1 behind after an easy mistake.
Indeed. And were you talking about with kicks, sometimes we can overthink them and try to do too much when it goes without saying, first and foremost, hit the ball, though?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there, he had to hit top of the 2 ball. That was kind of obvious what we look at. But I think from Tyler's position, where Obviously didn't have an easy jump shot on. If he comes off left side at rail, he's just hitting it. It didn't look like there was much going on, so I think just go off the bottom rail, and if you hit it thin, you could make it in the side. If a bit full, it could go in the top. You just don't want to give up ball in hand, do you?
Sound advice. They could have gone 2-9, but when the layout's this simple, sometimes get a little rhythm, play the run out.
Also, it's kind of important that, you know...
This could be a little awkward.
Yeah, just a little bit in between, wasn't it? I think
It was
he
almost
played
like
for
he
the
couldn't
side,
decide if he was playing for the corner or the side, yeah. Actually very awkward.
Yeah, I still fancy him to be all right. He's just going to pot it in and go north of the left side, as you say.
Well done.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's important. Alex kind of regroups here and tries to shake off that miscue and that missed 9 ball. I mean, the 9 ball wasn't easy, but it's just the way he hit it. He didn't even get close, did he? And the thing
No,
is,
he didn't flirt with the pocket. Yeah.
And he's obviously up for singles next, so. So this relatively easy 9 ball for Bergman, and they will take a 2-1 lead.
If you're just tuning in, this is the warm-up. The Party Poker Moscone Cup live next week, 25th through the 28th. You can catch it on DAZN in the States, Sky Sports in Britain. It'll be broadcast live in over 100 countries. Truly a global event. Playing at Mandalay Bay in front of thousands of people. Been told there's very few tickets left, if any. So if you want to get down there, start looking into that. I don't know. Maybe you should have planned that before. And it does fall on Thanksgiving, but that's not the worst. Carl, dodge the family a little bit. I know you boys don't really have Thanksgiving out there, but you know what I mean? It's not the worst. I mean, you know, everybody's looking for an excuse sometimes. Get out of there. Come on out, watch a little pool.
Listen, if I did, I'd still be in Vegas. Don't worry about that. Anything for a little week break.
So this will be game 4. Team USA leads
still get
in a race
turkey
to
in
5,
Vegas,
2-1
can you?
in round 5.
Sure.
So let's see what the Bergman break has to offer in rack number 4. Yeah, that's pretty good. Plays a little punch shot with left-hand spin. That often helps the wing ball squeeze in, and Tyler's got a look at this yellow 1 ball. Has to be said, little struggled with his cueing yesterday. Did Tyler? He will know that, so this is a big shot for him. Is he on the 2 ball though? I think that it was a little funny angle, wasn't it? That's why he went for distance. And Bergman's got the jump cue, so he's not on this ball.
My shot. I'll do it.
Sorry about that little microphone problem there. So we're back now. Bourbon got a little lucky with the leave. So Alex was no option but to play the kick shot.
Looks like he's lining up the combination. There are, of course, some safety options as well. That pink 4 ball looms large as a ball to maybe creep behind, as well as the Bumblebee 9.
Going to start a trend there with the Bumblebee 9 ball.
Doesn't quite get there.
Now, did he play safe, do you think? He must have done, mustn't he?
I think he did, because no position if he had made the combination.
So Vilmos with a nice little chance here. Get distance, you would think. And
Which way do you go here, Carl? Off the left or the right?
well, the Cowboys of today, I'm just going to bump it up and down because I'm going to struggle seeing the edges because I've been out of action. He's gone the other way.
But in your prime,
Yeah,
or
I
when
mean,
you're really playing, you play it this way?
Yeah, I mean, I fully understand what he's done. But it's funny, when you're not really playing, I always find it quite difficult to feel like I'm seeing the shot 100% correctly. That's why I go a little bit quiet sometimes.
Makes sense.
I mean, the last thing you want to do is keep calling every shot wrong, right?
Looks like Bergman's maybe trying to kick and stick. Easier said than done, but maybe hide him behind the 5-3. Comes off the other side.
2 balls going, but it's hit the cue ball, hasn't it? It was definitely tracking
Yeah.
towards the pocket. So Alex, this is a little tricky one.
Yeah, let's see if he can kind of shake off those early mistakes, put this one down, and get them on their way. It is a bit awkward, though. You need a touch of inside on it, Carl. A little bit of right, jacked up.
Yeah, I mean, I do think you should suit this shot, but I won't be surprised if he plays safe.
Looks like that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
Let's play safe, and it's hard to fault that choice too much, given the result.
The thing with Alex is he just knows he's so good at the that type of shot. You know, he always seems to lock you up, and his cue ball is unbelievable, honestly. But again, you would think the one rail kick isn't going to be an issue, and he might go close to this right-hand side pocket with a kick shot. And there's a couple of balls there, so good things can happen here for Tyler. Oh, he's hit it very hard, hasn't he? And look at this. Not nice to see.
Did kind of blast it, give him a ride. 3 flies in.
But I suppose if you take that one rail away, you don't give him that chance, do you?
It's true. Bergman with a touchy one here. Nicely done.
Yeah, Justin Bergman's looked in pretty good shape to me.
He has seemed to be in top form lately, right?
Yeah, and he's going to be under his own little added pressure because obviously everybody thought it was going to be between Corey and Max, and then Justin nipped in last minute, so he wants to perform.
Certainly. He's a tough kid. He logged a lot of hours down there in the Midwest on some tight boxes. He's been in big money games, obviously traveling the circuit for a long time. Does seem like the kind of guy who wants to be here in these moments, but as you said, certainly pressure. Notching out other legends. A little tricky here for Tyler, back and forth. Shouldn't be an issue, but as we've seen, this table is awfully tough. Nicely done, center of the hole.
We have an extension.
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 You have a preference on these, Carl, when it's frozen like that? Do you go high left or low right?
To be honest with me, I like playing low right and just coming back over to the left side of the table and play the 9-ball in the right bottom.
Just like Justin agrees.
Yeah, that seemed the kind of more obvious natural shot.
Shark, that's good.
3-1 Team USA.
I'm so sorry. I'm so
Here in the
sorry. I'm so
Moscone
sorry.
Cup warm-up match versus Team CSI. The real deal's next week, 25th through the 28th from Mandalay Bay. You can catch it on DAZN, catch it on Sky Sports, brought to you by Matchroom Multisport, Matchroom Pool. The Party Poker Moscone Cup. Don't miss it. I mean, unless you do, but don't. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah,
This Team Europe's no joke, too, right, Carl?
No,
I mean,
definitely not. But obviously,
quite an assortment.
But they're coming here. They know they lost last year, so they're coming with a little bit of different pressure. So they've got to really ramp it up a little bit, and it's set to be an interesting one. It's the 26th Moscone Cup, and it stands at 12-12 at the minute, with one draw, of course.
As you said, Team Europe coming off of the loss. This one will decide who has more overall wins. Huge. Fold set to break.
Moving on to Game 5, Team USA 3, Team CSI 1.
So trailing 3-1.
Looks like he's going very close to the center to break away.
Well, this is not an
Seems
easy
like
shot.
a good choice, no.
Not an easy pot, this, especially when you know you've had that miscue and
But the good thing is the position is pretty natural, right, Carl? You can really dial in on just making it. Bit of a stun stroke. See if Alex puts this in.
Yeah, but I just know when you're not quite at the races, this feels like 100 times harder than
For sure.
you know it could have been.
Oh, just little triple bank. Down it goes.
Triple bank.
And let's not forget, these tables are awfully tough. We've touched on it, but those are small pockets. If you look at that top left-hand corner. Are they 4 1/4, Carl?
They are, that's correct. Obviously brand new cloth, brand new balls, so you know at the minute you're just going to get that extra slide, which you know in a week that ball wouldn't have fell in.
Different ways to go here. Do you have a preference? It's hard to tell the exact angle combination versus trying to get position on the 6 straight away.
Yeah, he's going to just try and, I think he's going to try and draw through the gap. But
If you get funny on the combo, it can be a bit awkward.
Yeah, I think you got to play for the combo, surely.
Draw back a little bit.
Extension.
I think the referee were looking somewhere else there. They were panicking. The thing with this is,
Did overcook it a bit.
well, he did, but at least you're guaranteed a shot of the combo, aren't you? He's not. If he was confident and he played flawless so far, I think he probably draws across for the 6. But because he isn't, he's kind of a bit of a coward's way out, isn't it?
It's an excellent point, though. He knows they'll have a look, some capacity. Folds puts it down.
Let's go.
We have a little fist bump over here from Mr. Boys. Now let's go. 3-2. Team USA versus Team CSI. Nice bit of cue in there, real steady.
Well, it's just so important to keep USA off the hill, isn't it? So 3-2
Sure.
now, it's just still in a nice balance.
Who do you think's the greatest player of all time? If you were asked that question, do you have a solid answer for pool? You know, let's say 9-ball, 10-ball, I don't know, one overall, and or let's just say the greatest 9-ball player of all time. Do you have an opinion on that? A strong one?
I do have an opinion on it, yeah. It's probably not the best opinion, or just because I was a late starter to this game, I didn't start playing till 2005, 6. Yeah.
What are you now? 37, 38?
Just turned 37. I know.
Well,
I
that
don't
is
look it,
that is late. No, you look great, pal.
Yeah, 27.
Yeah, 31.
So,
I mean, let's not get carried away.
so the thing is, obviously, I didn't really
Scores
see.
3-2 Team USA.
I've not
leads.
seen much of Earl and all
Fifth
and all
round,
them
race
type
to
of
5.
guys. Certainly, even before Earl, I've not really seen much of them. But the little bits I've seen, I think, for pure kind of all-out attack and making the game look great, I'm going to say Earl.
There it is. One of the all-time greats, certainly. You heard it from Mr. Boyce. Earl Strickland's his pick for the GOAT 9-ball player.
Well, I just think it's like them big kind of like thin cut shots. He just had the way of just executing it softly.
Yeah. I mean, his best has to be right up there.
Yeah, I mean,
Push out.
you know, obviously defense and things like that, you know, probably not. I get that, but for all-out attack, great to watch.
I think Earl is Shane's favorite player as well. You can kind of see the influence, too, the way he sort of grips the cue, the stroke a bit. Legend, of course, Strickland. We see a little push out here from Paguline.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't be putting Shane too far away from there, I must admit. But I think just because he's still playing and is at the top of his game, I don't really need to. I feel like I don't really need to mention him yet. He could be mentioned.
And I think all time would be a little preemptive at this point. He might be on his way, but I agree with you.
Cue ball's close.
Just caught it a bit thin
Could be
off of
bond
that
hand to Team
rail.
USA.
I got it.
Okay. Clean it.
The 1 to the 2 is a little bit challenging. Should be able to handle it with ball in hand, but not the simplest, because the natural way to kind of just draw back off of the 1 is impeded somewhat by the 3-4-7.
Yeah, and as you said, where the 6 ball is kind of a funny way to.
Extension, please.
He's gonna. That's why he's playing the yellow 1 into this bottom left. He's gonna try and float just above the brown 7, isn't he? In that
I think
little
so,
kind of
yeah. Opting for a natural route. Trying to set himself up where he just kind of has to make the ball.
I kind of like what he did, though. I think Tyler was getting a bit giddy. You would think Justin Bergman's cue ball is, at the moment, a little bit better than Tyler's, and you could see he was indecisive. So Justin just stood up and grabbed the cue ball and said, "Listen, I'll play this shot. I'll get you on the 2." And
yeah.
he has done.
Yeah, well said, Carl. Looking to see if the 3 squeaks past the 4. I believe it does. It also goes in the side, which he's standing at. A couple of options. Well,
Said it, didn't I? Yesterday, he just didn't quite look at the races for me. Just missing a few more balls than he should do, and that was probably his worst one yet. So he's left a thin one for Vilmos, but it is a chance. Needs to hit the 8 high, and he hasn't. So if he'd have just hit the 8 ball a little bit higher, it'd have rolled up the table a bit more. But it was a good pot. That was the main thing. Pot the ball.
he does have a look at this 3 in the side, of course. The pink is going to fly around a bit. But if anybody can kind of control this one, it's this man.
Yeah, if you was playing an exhibition, you might play it off the brown 7.
Or if you're playing in
Well, it is an
the
exhibition for
Mosconi
Alex
Cup warm-up,
Pagulayan. There we
let's
go.
pot the 7 for dessert, Carl. Perfect position. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, 2 for 1 there, so that was nice.
Just needs to hop off the rail a little bit. That is a touch short. I think he overcompensated slightly to not hook him on the 9, which is understandable, but I don't know if he can hold this or not. Maybe he can just hold it.
Yeah, overhead camera angle's always a bit different to when you kind of stood there. So can he hold it, or does he have to go 3 rails? I think he's going 3. 1.
He is.
2, 3. Back into the middle, and there you see Alex Bagalayan.
It's a beautiful shot. Much trickier shot than it looks like.
That's where you'd put it if you had ball in hand. That's what I mean. He just always...
Gorgeous.
You just know when you play with Alex, you've got that... You just feel like you're always perfect on your ball. Big moments here. The first match of the day at 2-2.
This is the kind of shot when you're a little weak, you can try to get off the rail, and you want to make sure you make this. It goes without saying, but...
Well, I'm always one of them, me. When I play in Scotch doubles, I just try and pop my ball, and I kind of don't care where cue ball goes. Just leave it to my partner. Done my job. You carry on.
Ourselves a match here. Moscone Cup warm-up 3-3. Little high five there from the boys. This is the warm-up, as I was saying, the real deal next week from Mandalay Bay, the 25th through the 28th. You can catch it on DAZN in the States, Sky Sports Arena and Mix in the UK. Brought to you by Matchroom Pool, Matchroom Multisport. The Moscone Cup, baby. There it is. The Bay. Boys are warming up here versus Team CSI, the very formidable Team CSI. Carl Boy is next to me here in the booth. He's a member of the team. He'll be in there shortly. And you guys are here to win, you know. I mean, it goes without saying, but I was, you know, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie, I didn't fancy our chances too much, just because the likes of myself and Oscar have not really been competing, and whenever that's the case, you always feel like you're going to let the team down, and obviously we've not really had much time to put any hours in together or anything like that. But at the end of the day, we've all played pool before at some point, whether some of us are still live pool players or some of us have retired and not playing. And when you get out in that arena and you put your cue together, you know, that little bit of fight comes back in you.
And you're a champion. You've tasted it. You've risen up in the Moscone Cup. You've won a world championship. I mean, that pedigree, you know, I know what you mean. I'm sure the rust is real, and these boys on Team USA are obviously hitting balls 10 hours a day and so on. But it's 2-2 in the match, 3-3 in this set. It's certainly a fight. You see the Lions set to break.
Wow, he hit them real soft, didn't
he? He did, and he's come up dry.
I think we'll see Bergman play this one.
Looks like he raced to the table.
Yeah, it's smart Scotch doubles play. That's what you got to look out for if you're ever playing Scotch doubles. If one of you is struggling, or let's say you're a better safety player than me and it's a safety shot. Me and Darren did that very well when we played Scotch doubles together in many events.
Played to your strengths, kind of.
Yeah, we just knew after the break if it was a kick shot or a safe, I'd just sit there and he'd stand up automatically. And 9 times out of 10, if it was a pot, I'd stand up and he'd sit there.
It's great to have that communication. Beautiful shot here from Bergman. Carried natural position, but well handled.
Yeah, so the soft break from Alex at 3-3 doesn't look like it's going to pay off, does it? Because these balls
maybe a little more pop, Alex.
Yeah, maybe he felt he seen something in the rack. Oh, no, you can't look at the rack, can you?
No, but they study it from the head string, though, so. Stroke there.
Yeah, these balls are just all sat there pretty, aren't they? It's just connect the dots, really. It's always nice if you can get on the hill before your opponent as well, so that just gives you a bit of insurance. And of course, Team USA will be breaking if they can get on the hill, so big rack. So he's got to go off the 2 rails now. Back out up towards the middle for the 8 and the same, and that's perfect.
Impeccable speed there. Team USA on the hill. As Carl was saying, always nice to get on that hill first. Pretty straightforward reasons. We're here at the warm-up. The Moscone Cup itself starts next week, the 25th through the 28th from Mandalay Bay. You can catch it on DAZN. Brought to you by Matchroom Pool, Matchroom Multi-Sport. In the UK, catch it on Sky Sports. It's coming over 100 countries live as well. Check your local listings. Massive global event. Bergman set to break here.
Where's our teammate, bro?
There you hear Alex saying, "Where's our teammates?" Well, one's in the booth, and the other 2 are practicing, Alex. So just concentrate on yourself, buddy.
That accent you have, Carl, is that close to like a Liverpool accent, or is it totally different?
Completely different.
Completely different, really, to the untrained. But do you have the like the you know, the throaty kind of that, you know, Darren Till, the UFC guy, he's got the
he's a bit
my
more
back and the, you know, do you have that coming in or no?
No, I think that's just years of abusing my body with lager. Well, would you look at this split?
Terrific look for USA, goes without saying. That is the pink 4 leading into the purple 5, so no real problems here whatsoever. They still have to make them, though.
Yeah, Team CSI was 3-1 down, and at 3-2, Steyer missed that easy 2-ball, didn't he, and gifted the rack to our boys, and then Alex decided to play a soft cut break and
really just tapped them, didn't move the balls around at all.
I mean, this is a glorious chance, really. I'm not so sure about that, but
maybe draw it back a little, right, Carl, and just play the 5 uptown.
Yeah, I suppose it just depends if is he dead straight on this or not. It's difficult to see, isn't it? But
true.
And with you, I'd rather just play a little stop shot on the 4 and shoot the 5 up table, but we'll see. There you see, he's straight. So yeah,
just
he's
pinch
pulled
it back a little, yeah.
Yeah, I prefer that because now he can just.
It is a smidge awkward, I suppose, though, because the angle carries the cue ball into the 9, so they do need to navigate for that factor.
Yeah, I think Justin tried to draw it back to leave him straight.
To touch more, right.
This is kind of the big shot of the rack, isn't it?
Stun it into it and maybe play the double kiss almost off of the 9 a bit.
Well, he's aiming low.
Oh. Oh, what a great chance for CSI, Carl, to get back in this thing. He plays the carom.
He didn't like that shot.
Surprised me, but it's tough to kind of tell the exact angle from the booth. If it squeaked by, I thought he could have just kind of made it, gone into the 9 somewhat softly and maybe held there, but
that camera angle there did look tight, but Tyler did say if you leave me there, I'll draw up past the 4, so it must have gone.
Right.
No extension.
And with you, I think it clearly went because he'd already signalled that he was going to pot it. I think pot it and just take your chance, really.
It's a crafty little shot there from Bergman. Great speed.
Yeah, but this is you know, it's a chance they shouldn't really have had. CSI,
oh, very much so. To be delighted to get back to the table.
Now, I'd like to have seen Alex play this shot. No disrespect, but we all know the Filipinos are the more adept to this side of the game, aren't they?
Is he slicing this in, loading it up with left? Maybe give the 9 a little ride, or Perhaps it's too thin for that. This is tricky.
It's real tricky.
Do you just bank it down to kind of the R on the Rasan and just sort of take your chances?
Yeah, I don't think it's the worst option.
Awkward little shot.
Yeah,
Does do that. He's hit it nicely.
Yeah, he's hit it lovely, to be fair. There's nothing wrong with that. Look at your speed control there.
Oh, and gets rewarded too. The 4 freezing to the rail, making things a bit trickier. See what Tyler comes with.
Tyler's going to try and use this purple 5 as a blocker, I feel, with the cue ball.
Yeah.
And try and send this 4 ball all the way back up the table. Well, that was very difficult to do that.
Was a little strong. Would have to think Alex is...
I thought he was going to try and bounce the 4 below the left middle and try and get it up and just kind of kill the cue.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's what it is.
Certainly Alex is coming with something offensive here, whether it's the cut or the bank. It's just too good a look.
Yeah, what's he going for? Is he going for the cut? Or is he playing the bank? He's played the bank.
He's played the bank. Awfully long.
Yeah, you heard
that
it.
new cloth, yeah.
Now I do believe Bergman will play a good safety shot here now. He's got a real good chance. So Alex went for the bank and wasn't even close, was it? And he's up next for the singles, so needs to regroup if we do lose this point. Oh, he's not done it
So
right.
boy, really overcooked it too.
I mean, he got a good pink 4, didn't he? But
he did, but it felt like if you dial it in on getting behind both of those balls, you really should be there. So another great chance for CSI to kind of just retain life, maybe play a good safety shot here and fight onwards.
yeah, it's a dangerous one here if he's playing to split the balls.
It's tough because you leave the jump as well, even if you
Speed's
accomplish your task, and he seems to have sold the farm a little here, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, I knew what you were trying to do, but to judge the speed was never easy.
Yeah,
maybe
just hit it a bit thick.
I know, obviously, you know, in this game we always try and, you know, get the hook, but maybe sometimes you should just send the ball back up table, a bit like a snooker type shot.
Maybe a little bit of a higher percentage, yeah. And an issue with this one as well, even if you do hook him, he's got to be something like 20, 30% to just sink the jump if you leave him a good look, so.
Yeah, especially when they're on the hill. Maybe
Yeah.
it's just a case of trying to bide some more time, you know.
Nice shot there, cheated the pocket slightly to hold it up. Let's see if Team USA can close out this first match.
Yeah, so this is a case of just making sure you pop the purple 5, and he'd love to draw the cue ball back up off the side rail and get high on the 6.
As you said, first and foremost, sink it.
As he landed in the worst possible
It looks like he has the most awkward angle possible, yeah.
Yeah, he's just going to draw back over to the right and then leave just in that little sort of thin shot where he can come off the bottom and back up table. Shouldn't cause too many problems, this. But it's been a scrappy match, hasn't it?
Certainly has.
Oh, he was perfect. We over-egged that one.
Yeah. You coming around here, Carl?
Oh, yeah, I know what you're saying. Just
That
before
slippery
the left
cloth, I can't, it's like the left can grab, but it looks like he's just coming out to center table. Oh.
Well, he's left it long.
That's a bit more distance than they would have liked.
Yeah, and he's not.
Albeit manageable, of course.
Of course, but when you've missed a couple,
right.
Don't forget that 2 ball he missed.
Sure.
I always watch how clean this goes in. That tells a story. If it doesn't go in clean, it means he hasn't delivered the cue too good, even though it could disappear.
Touchy shot here to close it out. Steyer. Does put it down. Team USA on the board to start the day. 3-2 in the overall match. Moscone Cup warm-up.
3-2.
Good luck, Carl.
Yeah, there you see another look at that. Real clean. Cued it nice. It was a shame. That's another point gone by. We're losing 3-2. We could have been 4-1 up. Wow. Europe, you've got to like your chances.
More pool coming your way shortly. Stay tuned.
This championship is being played with the new Aramith tournament set. Featuring a unique molecular structure, it guarantees razor-sharp precision and unsurpassed longevity. Unquestionably the best pool balls in the world, this set is available in a TV and a value pack version, as well as in the new My Aramith range of ball and cue cases. Now you can bring and play with the best ball set everywhere you go. My Aramith, bringing new dimensions to your billiards experience.
Stop on them. You're not playing, Shane? It's rough. Oh, the 9 ball is dead scratch. I was like, this. You gotta have that 9 ball. That's laying over there. Wow, they kick a couple balls. I mean, he kicked one good and then scratch. My play. He should have thrown it instead of followed. He left me here with the 6. I don't know. Me copying him up? Right.
Play the jack ball.
As we enter round 6, the score is 3-2 overall. Team USA leads. We're ready for a singles match. Gentlemen, you may leave for break. Team USA wins the leg.
Good afternoon. We're live here at Griff's in Las Vegas for the warm-up match ahead of the Mosconi Cup that's taking place next week. And I'm here joined by none other. He is a 3-time bracelet holder in poker and genius.
Wow,
Shulman.
Emily. So thank you very much. Yeah.
Thought I'd just big you up, you know,
Yeah.
just give you a little bit.
Oh, genius as well. I don't know about that. But,
Well, that's come from Jeremy Jones, so I'm going to figure that out myself.
all right. All right.
So just to let everyone know, obviously, if you're just joining us, we rescheduled this for today. So this is the final play out of the warm-up match where we have our Mosconi Cup Team USA versus Team CSI, which is Q Sports International, who are sponsoring Team USA this year. And it's great, obviously, to be working alongside Ozzy Reynolds and his great team. And so here we've obviously, Tyler Steyer and Justin Bergman just took the last point. And now we've got Billy Thorpe up against Alex Pagulayan.
Well done there from Billy. 5 does pose some problems. Goes in the top right corner naturally, but not sure if he wants to play for the combination or try to get position on it straight away. Pagulayan had a bit of a rough doubles match, so let's see if he can kind of shake it off.
Yeah, I was watching that, and I spoke with Carl in the car ride
Be
over
a little
to
strong,
here,
Emily.
and he was saying that he wanted to put Alex out the first 2 matches, obviously because he feels he's the strongest player. So it was a tough match, the last one.
Carl was steaming a little bit in the booth when Alex Thorpe with the jump cue. Nice break here for Team CSI.
I always say to Jeremy, I love it when the players just get out of the jump cue or they're going to do a bank shot, because for me, I'm like the casual pool fan, so I love seeing shots like that. And so it's a similar format here to the Mosconi Cup. Players have a 30-second shot clock, and they get 1 extension per rack.
A little bit of good fortune there from Billy. It was a solid strike. The purple 5 went into the 6 thickly to nestle on this bottom rail. Pagulayan moves so well and is so defensively minded and crafty. Let's see what he comes with. Always eager to see his choices. He's not only a great executor, but he's a very thinking kind of player. Knows all the shots. Look at this guy. He's got the Fu Manchu going.
Well, obviously, Alex, you know, not playing in the Mosconi Cup and sort of never had that opportunity, but he's so experienced in these type of events, you know.
Just an all-time great player at this point recently in the Hall. Left Billy pretty funny. Even though Billy can see it, he might elect to kick 2 rails underneath to create some distance, but the way he's cueing it, looks like he's going at it straight away. Just trying to thin it. Come back around to about where he is. He plays the bank, of course. Excuse me. He could see the whole ball. One of the best bank pool players in the world. Didn't realize that he could see that right side of the 5. Beautifully done. Touchy one here, though, Emily. It's going to that top left corner. Squeeze by the 8. Come around the table. Tough shot. Great chance for Team CSI, unless he hooks him on the 9, which he doesn't. You hate to see that if you're Team USA. Thorpe struggling a bit yesterday, and naturally didn't even bobble that one. Happens. This is the warm-up match. The real deal is next week, but got to sink those. Got to sink those, Emily.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, this is one of the reasons why we do a warm-up match. It's great to give the players, you know, a chance in a similar format ahead of next week. You know, that is the real deal. And it was great to put together such a strong team from CSI, you know, the likes of Alex Pagulayan and someone like Carl Boys, even though he hasn't been playing recently, he's so familiar with the Mosconi Cup format and he plays very well in these short races. So it is a good little warm-up for it. And so the Party Poker Mosconi Cup will be starting next Monday, the 25th of November. It will be running for all 4 days. I can guarantee you that. The competition is very strong this year.
It's really an exciting one. The Americans coming off of the monumental win, but this Team Europe, it's almost as if you talk to fans and stuff, the buzz around the pool world is that Europe really are favorites this year. So even though they're coming off the win, I think USA feels like they have their back a bit against the wall and they have something to prove, and it just creates an interesting dynamic. They're back here in the States defending. You see Pagulayan sink that 9 to take rack 1.
Definitely, and strangely enough, the arena for this year, I think we're going to be, you know, 50% American fans and 50% European, which is fantastic because even though we've been in Vegas before, we've always been majority Europe fans, and it's great for Team USA to have that support. But like you said, Team Europe are strong as hell.
They're so good. I mean, you know, and they're just a bit more refined, even though they're extremely young with Catchy and Filler and stuff. I don't know. They seem to just be a bit more experienced maybe on the big stage
the pocket sizes.
The pocket sizes, the difficult equipment, and obviously a guy like Jason Shaw, he just seems to live for these moments, wants to be there. It's intimidating when the guy's celebrating on the 4-ball. He's pumping up the game. He makes a tough 4-ball. He's pumping up the crowd. When there's still a lot of work to be done, most pool players, I know they wait till they handle the 9-ball to start, you know, but he's just so confident. A lot of swagger.
There's a classic video, which I'm sure you've seen, Nick, from Cole Boys from the Whirlpool Masters. And
yes.
It's imprinted in my brain where he celebrated just before the 8-ball.
Such a legend.
It was the worst shot I've ever seen in my life. And obviously, I don't know Paul that well, but it was terrible.
You gotta admire the you know, the chutzpah though.
It was just so funny, him celebrating, and he was getting so excited, and he just completely dogged it.
Yeah, it happens. In American football, sometimes we have the guys do the little dance right before the end zone and then drop the ball and just turn it right over. We see a tremendous look here for Paguline and go up 2-0 in this match. Not too many problems. The 3's a bit touchy. Might have overcooked the mark here slightly, did. Now he has some work to do. Is a thin cut down to this bottom left-hand corner where maybe he comes 1-2 across to play the 3 up in the top left or the side if the 5 isn't looming too large. But this is a little awkward, though. Yeah, the early celebration dog is something that you never really shake off entirely. I mean,
I literally just bring it up to him all the time because it's all I've got against him, really.
Yeah.
Extension.
This is positionally touchy for Alex. Maybe just a smidge of high left. Try to come 1-2, perhaps 3 across, sort of towards the 9-ball. Very nicely done.
You kind of have that confidence for someone like Alex Paguline. You know, you're saying, Nick, that it's obviously quite a tough layout here. To take the rack, and it's someone like Alex, you know, he's kind of the one to do it, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got a lot of tight table experience for starters, which is what we're playing on, and he's just such a phenomenal player. As we see a beautiful shot here coming around the table, perfect on the 4 to slide over for the 5, and then handle this 9-ball to go up 2-0.
And so Alex on the verge here of taking the second point here in this match. The overall score for the warm-up game is 3-2 to Team USA. And so that's 2-0 to Alex Paguline with Billy to break. And so if you're watching, guys, and you're unable to come to Vegas to watch the Moscone Cup, you'll be able to see it live on Sky Sports Arena and Mix in the UK, which will be 7 p.m. UK time. And if you are in the States, it will be DAZN. And anywhere else in the world, you can go to our Matchroom Pool website and have a look at all of the broadcasters on there. But I guarantee this will be available everywhere to watch. And if you were thinking of coming along to Mandalay Bay, I'm sorry to say that the tickets are now sold out, which is brilliant. 1,700 people in that arena come Monday.
If you've ever seen a Moscone Cup of years past, it's no surprise. The atmosphere is truly one of a kind. I just can't wait. I mean, this thing is going to be a great match. It rates to be a great match. And yeah, as you said, maybe that 50-50 split between the U.S. fans and the European fans. And you guys are out of your minds, Emily. I mean, these European fans, I mean, this is a different level of, but it's culturally embedded too. These are real sports fans. A lot of it's lighthearted, but you got the songs going on. They're dancing up there. You're making sounds I've never heard.
Well, we
might be a bit
actually
of boozing going on as well in the stands. Don't know.
We employed a live DJ for last year, and that was the first time we did it. And that was perfect. And the guy hates me because I was sitting next to him going, play this, play that. And then we were playing country songs for Billy and Skylar as well. And but we've got him coming back, and I think it's just so important, you know, the experience for the fans that are coming along, buying a ticket.
Couldn't agree more.
They're the people that we should be, you know, they should be enjoying themselves, and they're our priority.
Little short of the mark here for Thorpe. You don't really want to leave the Lions such a good look as this to see the ball. A lot of maneuverability here. Could play safe or shoot at it. See what he's trying to come with. Thins the right side of the one. Maybe a little thick. If this strikes the 2, he'll give him a look. Doesn't. What a beauty to just nestle behind that 2, and surely Thorpe will bring the jump cue out. Try to make work of this one, but no easy task.
Can't wait.
I don't know if the 2 passes the 4 in the bottom left, which makes things a bit awkward, but first things first. Oh, what a great shot. I think he played that. I don't know if it's come up high, but either way, to just jump in and stick there behind the 8 to play safe. Good attempt, but I do think maybe it squeaked out, giving the Lion a look. Tough shot, though. If he can see it, he'll try to play it down in the bottom right-hand corner naturally. But position on the 2 isn't so simple. So good. Well, just a tremendously executed shot. Such a touchy shot to use a little bit of right-hand spin off of the rail like that. Getting position on the 2 in the same hole, not too surprising. He is a fantastic one-pocket player, one of the great players of all time, where you need to make all of the balls in your respective corner pocket. But a tremendously touchy shot there from Alex.
And it's a credit to these players as well, you know. There are so many different tournaments and different conditions, and, you know, coming into here where you've got 30-second shot clock, sometimes you may want to think for a bit longer, or you don't want to go with your gut, and, you know, these players have to adapt to the different, you know, situations.
Oh, indeed.
And it's impressive, I personally feel, to see these players, you know, grind and to have to perform like this.
Absolutely. He followed up that 1 ball with a pretty dreadful attempt here on the 2.
Dreadful.
It was pretty bad. He was trying to nestle him on the 4. Alex would be the first one to tell you that that's from 1 to 10 for him. That's about a 0.
That sucked.
Yeah, it sucked. And Billy, being such a great bank pool player, we expect him to make most banks that he lines up. Doesn't disappoint here. And he should be off to the races, Emily.
Off to the races.
2-1.
I'm loving all of the different sort of slang.
Well, you guys don't say off to the races in England? What do you mean?
Yeah, in England we do. But you're American. I didn't.
Well, we say off to the races in America. What do you think? It's just a British thing? I mean.
Perhaps.
Got to watch the shirt, by the way. It is a foul if he moves the pink at all. Do need to be careful. Jeremy was talking about that yesterday, that if they know they have a few inches of wiggle room where they're not hovering over the ball, don't move any closer. Just cue from there, because naturally to turn over the table is such a disaster. Nicely done. You're right, though. The shot clock element really does change things for pretty obvious reasons. But there's shots where if there's no shot clock, you'll take a minute or two because it's just so tricky. So many different ways to go. As we see Billy came up a little bit high here. With that shot clock, you got to get down there. You have to handle your business in a timely fashion. And it's very exciting for fans and players alike.
And I was commentating with Jeremy on the Kremlin Cup final. And they actually didn't have the shot clock in play. And there was a moment, and off the top of my head, sorry, my brain's like mush at the moment.
Understood. You're working awfully hard here behind the scenes. Emily's always doing something. I mean,
always on my
laptop, phone, managing the team. I mean, it's crazy.
But it was either Tyler or David Alcady, and it was like they took too long because they didn't have the shot clock in play, and ended up it didn't work in their favour. And sometimes the shot clock, I guess, can work better for the players because, you know, this is their talent. This is what they're good at.
Right.
And sometimes their gut instinct is, you know, the natural thing to do. And when you have too much time to think about it.
That's an excellent point. Think long, think wrong. I mean, sometimes they catch a little rhythm with the shot clock where it could help them, yeah. Nicely done.
So Billy on the verge of taking this to 2-1 to CSI in this second match of the day here. It's overall first to 5 points, 3-2 to Team USA. We're live here at Griff's in Las Vegas, so if you're in the area, feel free to come along. It's free to get in and to be able to come and watch. And if you can't, you can obviously subscribe to our Matchroom Pool YouTube page. And a note on that, you can catch all of the Mosconi Cup 2018 highlights on our Matchroom Pool page, which is great if you just want a little teaser ahead of next week. You can see Team USA take the cup.
The energy of the 2018 Mosconi Cup, too, is really worth a look. I mean, even if you're not a diehard pool fan, it seems, well, I don't know because I am, so I can't really morph into the perspective of one who isn't, but I think it's incredibly watchable for anybody. It's just a different kind of thing.
There's no event like it out there, and like I'm like a diehard pool fan, but not as in like I love the sport kind of thing, so I can get into it. But on my pool knowledge, obviously when I'm standing in the arena at Alexandra Palace last year and you've got 2,500 spectators all chanting, singing, and you've got the players out there, so much pressure on their shoulders.
Oh.
Honestly, I don't know how they do it. And Shane was just talking about it earlier, and he was saying, you've got no idea how much pressure there was on me last year. And I was like, well, actually, I could
I
do
sort
it.
of kind of do,
I
Shane, yeah.
kind of do. But, you know, credit to the players because, gosh, that is tough. And
No, they're tough kids. I mean, and the Q sports, too, you really need a steady hand. It goes without saying, but you're alone out there. It's not a reactionary sport. Something boxing, tennis, it's all happening fast, so you get a sweat. Not that they're not under immense pressure, but here you're alone, you're cold. You're not getting warmed up in that way physically. You really need to have your nerves under control, and there's no spot in pool, really in pool history, that's been such a global stage as the Mosconi Cup. So they're ready, but yeah, they're feeling it. Great break there from Alex. Squats the rock. It's terrific to have Paguline out here, too, to help warm the boys up. An all-time great. It does seep in when you're around such established players who play so intelligently and execute so well. I think it's good for them, regardless of the result of this warm-up, just to kind of be around Alex. Every pool player sort of loves him, looks up to him.
yeah, I agree entirely. And I know that when we got in touch with him regarding the warm-up match, he was like, you know, there is obviously $5,000 up for grabs for the winning team, but he said, you know, anything to support you guys and to support Mosconi Cup and to support Q Sports International, which is just so nice that, you know, we've got players like that, because that's why we are in this business. That's why we want to increase prize money. That's why we want to get more tournaments out there. So it's fantastic. And exactly like you said, regardless of the outcome today, Team USA are going to get that experience, and it's going to be one hell of a competition next week.
Indeed, and even between the matches, Alex and them are hitting balls, talking shots, talking strategy, and it is nice, as you were saying, that camaraderie. In the end of the day, they're all family in a way. All of these players have dedicated their lives to the game.
Very
Alex
weird
declares
family.
extension too. Yeah, no, yeah. Well, all families are a little weird. I mean, I don't know what's going on in your house, but I could, I could tell you. A little goofy here. Does he go high ball or does he stun it a bit? Looks like he went with the latter, kind of an in-betweener, and very nicely done as he had that 4-6-7 situation, sort of impeding a natural route. So he manipulated the cue ball slightly. A little bit of work here. He has to go from the pink to the purple. The 6 is kind of in the way of freely leaving yourself that natural angle. Curious to see how Paguline navigates this. And as he said, that isn't it. He's come up quite short here. Perhaps he can just shoot the pink and kind of stick on the top of of the green 6 ball to play a safety shot, but the 7 might be in the way of that. If he goes pink in the side, position is an issue. Judging from his cueing, he is going pink in the side. Maybe not. He is, and he tried to use a lot of right-hand spin to go off of the 6 into the rail and back down for the 5, but as we see, he did not handle the pocketing of the pink and got very lucky here, if we're seeing this right, to not leave Billy a shot. Tricky to jump, too, when you're frozen on the rail like that. Thorpe has his hands full. Pretty precarious here if you kick to the side rail and try to hit the top of the pink.
Attention.
Safe is far from promised. Maybe he does go jump cue here, frozen off of the rail. Look at these guys. These young guys jump from everywhere, Emily. Here he is. Jacking up, cueing, bridging out of the side pocket.
This is what I live for. Dogged it.
Did he get reward? I wouldn't say he dogged it. That's not really a doggable one. He did make solid contact, but did not get it done. A little bit of work here for Paguline. Has to use some low left, whip the cue ball back. He has such a beautiful stroke, powerful stroke. Made it look easy, wasn't. Should be handling these now. Well done. A little bit funny here. Would have liked to have a bit more of an angle to naturally come out to center table for the 6 in the side, but looks like he's jacking up, drawing back slightly. I think he accused Mr. Van Boning of maybe sharking him a little bit, waving that cue in his face. Sure was accidental.
It's good to see Team USA bonding, though, because that's obviously all that we want ahead of next week. And I think that was the main problem that we've had for the last couple of years with Team USA. You know, Europe are so strong together as a team because they all, you know, play one another and things like that. And whereas something we've noticed from last year and this year, they actually all talk with one another. And
it's a great point.
Hanging out, and it's better.
Yeah, that camaraderie is big. It loosens the nerves. And when you really know your boys have your back, when you really know everybody's in the same corner and on the same side and communicating honestly with each other and really rooting for each other and all of that, that's to their chances, yeah.
So just to repeat for you guys, Team USA is sponsored by CSI, Q Sports International, for this year's Moscone Cup. Great news for the pool industry. And talking about the industry, and whilst we have Alex Paguline on the table, I've got some breaking news for everyone.
Oh.
Which I'm going to enlighten you.
Who doesn't love breaking news, Emily?
Breaking news. The World Pool Masters is back, and it is in Gibraltar next March, the 26th to the 29th. And we will have the reigning champion, David Al-Kaidi. That final was incredible, by the way. And I think, you know, no disrespect to Alex Kazakis, and I still...
That Spanish contingent is strong, yes.
Yeah, sorry, and I still sort of make fun with Alex about it, that he didn't deserve it because of the... I just think you've got to have balls to go for that shot,
yes,
when you're in that position. But anyway, David Al-Kaidi will be joined by Shane Van Boning, Jason Shaw and Josh Filler, and as well Fedor Gorst, who is the European champion. Nick, obviously the last year we've changed the World Pool Masters format slightly. We've gone from 16 players to 24. We've also introduced a qualifying criteria where 8 players can qualify through to the event instead of it just being sort of, you know, an invitational, and that's something we're going to develop even further. With the likes of being able to have the world #1 female, and you know, I would love for Siming Cheng to be in the World Pool Masters.
It would be tremendous, sure.
Love for that to happen. So we'll see how it plays out.
It's great to see qualifiers get in there too. It's a very pure way to do things. You see it in golf. You see it, win your way in.
Yeah, and that's something that we're really working on for Matchroom Pool moving forward ahead of, from 2020, and our sights are set on things like that. So, like I said, the World Pool Masters is back. Tickets will be on sale shortly, and it will be the 26th to the 29th of March. And so, whilst I was rabbiting on about the World Pool Masters, what have we got here, Nick?
Baggy line pushed out, always crafty, tried to tie up the 4-9 a little bit. Looks like Billy's accepting. Maybe trying to nestle him on the 8. You always got to watch out for this guy banking him in, but I don't know if that 1 is going to creep out of there and give him a look in the bottom left corner. If it did, it's a nice chance for Alex. I don't think it did. It's a nice shot there. We can see that he's hooked slightly. So he's either going to kick 2 rails underneath or pull the jump cue out. You know how well the Filipinos bank and kick and all that stuff. But the new technology of the jump cues is undeniable. Even this little guy's pulling it out. Trying to pot the 1 here. Little thin.
Is he going to get lucky? Is the 2
Believe
going to roll in?
he is not.
No.
Nice look for Billy here. The 1, 2, 3 should be handled in short order. Maybe a carom on the 4-9, off of the 4 and into the 9. Cross that bridge when it comes. To control the 1 here, he's just going to look to replace the 2 with the 1. Nicely done. And he's looking at where he'd like to be to shoot the carom shot. And subsequently where he'd like to be on the 3 to promote a natural route to get comfy on the carom. Should draw this back slightly, not too much, because you do want an angle to go off the side of the pink 4 into the 9 to try to make the money ball.
So, Nick, what do you think of the new Aramith Black ball set? And I won't be offended. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. As far as I'm concerned, everyone's talking about it. So it's
a lovely set. Goes without saying that the quality and so on and so forth is terrific.
Yes.
As we see
Nice
Thorpe handle the
shot.
carom. For me, to come with the purple 5 ball does create a little bit of a predicament for pool players, I think, for the old school guys. It's so ingrained. Emily, when I look at a set of pool balls and I see the color purple, it's just the 4. Maybe if they wanted to go with a new color for the 5 that we've never seen, okay, but for it to just be the stone cold color of that the 4 ball's been for over 100 years, take a little bit of time to adjust, but things do evolve. You know, you can't be too stuck in your ways in this life. But I don't. What are we going to make the basketball green next? I mean,
well,
some things are.
I mean, event, so don't give me ideas.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I might do that.
I mean, but they're lovely. I mean, in person, they're just very nicely designed, very well crafted, and I think the weight and the playability, the players seem to really like them.
Sure, and they are kind of like a breath of fresh air. But I hear what you're saying, and I do get that, and it has been, interesting to see the players sort of adapt here to see obviously how the set is, and with the 4 and the 5. But we've always had the pink 4 ball for the Matchroom Pool set. So for us, in Matchroom Pool, it hasn't been a significant change, but there aren't that many other colours that you can just put that 5 ball as. And we've got to think about so many factors here. This isn't just in a pool hall. We've got to think about how these balls look on TV.
Yes.
Because, we're drawing in casual viewers that don't necessarily have your view on it, obviously, and they need to see the different colours on the table. And we just had this problem where the 3, the 4, and the 5 were all too similar.
Understood.
And this kind of stands it out, but I do hear what you're saying.
No, but promoting visibility as far as the TV angle of it is obviously extremely important for the growth of the game. It's what these players need. Beautiful break there from Alex. And we do have the numbers you know, beautifully
front of
displayed
you.
at the bottom. So if you're a bit new to pool, there it is. We're coming in rotational order in this game of 9-ball, and for us old timers, we'll have to just get used to the purple 5. I mean,
And the Bumblebee 9.
and the Bumblebee 9, which
love
kind
the
of I
Bumblebee
like
9.
actually. The Bumblebee 9 is cool.
The cue ball is my favorite because where we've got this black, you know, this black set, that just is kind of like the cherry on top.
Yes.
Because it just lets it all sink in, whereas if it was that sort of red measle ball,
Right.
it wouldn't quite fit in. So I think the set is wonderful. Obviously, I'm extremely biased, but if you don't like it, that's absolutely fine. You know, we're not going to hold it against you. But
Emily
like you
might
said,
hold it against
I
you a
might
little
hold
bit,
you
actually.
against
She said be honest, but nice shot there from Peggy Line. But I don't know. If, you
I
know.
was looking at him like I was going to.
Yeah, she was like, be honest, Nick, and then just glaring at me. I was all right. Yeah, I love them, Emily. No, but it's a beautiful set. And as you said, we have to make the color. You have to differentiate the colors for TV. When pool started, there were no televisions. So
No, exactly. So this game is evolving, and that's something that we're doing at Matchroom Pool. We're evolving this sport. We're making it a high professional level. We want more prize money for the players, and we want
yes,
more tournaments.
preach,
And
yes.
that's exactly what we're trying to do.
And I'm not
every
just
little
saying
thing
this, but to
helps.
have Matchroom involved, I mean, you guys are legends in the world of sport globally. So it's a fantastic thing for pool, and we can see that on full display, and you'll see it full on display next week, the Mosconi Cup. Little touchy here. It's going to come 1-2 around, I believe. Does. Nice bit of cueing there. Came up slightly high. Should be able to use high right. But maybe with brand new cloth, sometimes the balls slide, which means the spin doesn't take quite as much. So he may have a little bit of work to do, come around. Does come with the high right, and it does slide on him, Emily, and got a bit fortunate there to kind of have a shot. He certainly wasn't trying to get so close to the 7. He would have preferred to leave a little distance and be a bit safer, but he should be okay, albeit a thin cut. Things can go wrong when you're too thin in pool, but this is one of the all-time greats. Came up a bit high. He's earning this rack, Emily.
Yeah, I was going to say earning's probably the right word to use there, isn't it?
Nicely done. Should get Team CSI on the hill. Recently inducted into the Hall of Fame, Alex Pagulayan plays all the games. Great for many years. Legend.
He is a legend for the game, and it's fantastic to obviously have him here.
Nice to see a Filipino out there, too.
Yes,
you know,
it
in
is.
pool, I mean.
It is.
They're just built a little different.
But he is representing Canada, just so you know, head of the Whirlpool Masters. But it's also good to mention that part of the qualifying criteria that we introduced for 2019 and 2020 for the Whirlpool Masters is that the Mosconi Cup MVP will guarantee a spot for next year.
Oh,
so,
terrific.
For instance, Billy playing here, if he went on to be MVP at the Mosconi Cup next week, he is guaranteed his spot into the Whirlpool Masters alongside Shane, who naturally always, you know, he earned his
Kinda
spot.
gets in,
and he
but
gets
yeah.
in. But it's great that we've got this qualifying criteria because it gives these other players, like, for instance, Justin Bergman's come onto the scene. Well, he's obviously played in the Mosconi Cup before, but he doesn't quite get a look in at the tournaments like the World Cup of Pool, the Whirlpool Masters. Say if he's MVP next week and Team USA win, that's a huge step for him.
I
And
love
Skylar
that.
had that this year.
Absolutely,
That's
yeah.
what we're trying to do in these games, and we're trying to
And the
link
score's
our
now
events
4-2,
together
race
and
to
give
5.
everyone an
Singles
opportunity and the right to
Oh, that's a
play in the
beautiful
events.
thing. An MVP in the Mosconi Cup deserves it. If you get it done on a stage like that, you deserve to be going to the most prestigious events. And as you were saying, a guy like Bergman, who's so close, could go off to the Whirlpool Masters, earn his way in, have a dynamite breakout tournament, and immortalize himself in the world of pool and really change his life. So it's great to see these guys get a shot. A little bit tricky here. I don't know if he comes 1, 2, 3 around kind of into the 3 ball to clear up the 2. He's looking to see if it goes. If he gets to center table, can he spin it in? If he can't, he might use some right-hand spin, some high right, if the angle's there naturally. Come 1, 2, 3 sort of into the balls.
Extension.
And so he's taking his extension here. Players do get 60 seconds after the break. So he's obviously quite a tough shot.
It is. It's tricky. I don't know if he gets to center table if the 2 goes. He's really looking at it. He could play to get to center table and just shoot the 2 and stick there, slide it behind the 3 to play a safety shot. But he could also wing it around the table, provided that the angle is there, and try to go into the balls to open them slightly. Does come with that. And let's see if he gets rewarded for this. He doesn't really, however. The kick between the 8-6 long shouldn't be too much of an issue for him. I'm not saying it's easy, but he does rate to make the 2, I believe, if the angle is there. To just kind of kick by the A and Matchroom Multisport up and down. Oh, that's a foul.
Right, yeah.
Just didn't quite apply enough English to it, and Paguline has a terrific chance to close this thing out. Not sure if the 7 slides by the 9, though, so there's work to be done, but...
You can see Alex looking at that.
Yeah, that's the big issue. Maybe he could leave himself a little angle on the 4 to break them up and slide over to get to the green 6 next. Let's defer to the master. What's your Monday morning going to look like, Emily?
Oh
Insane?
I don't even know what day it is today, to be honest. I just, when it comes to events, I kind of like lose track of what the day is, and I just go by what the build day is. So I know tomorrow is the build day. So I'm like, okay, I've got 3 days of build and install, and then I've got a 4-day event. Couldn't tell you what the day is tomorrow, but I have to go to the gym, whether it's a 24-hour gym. So whatever. We start building at 6 a.m. on
Got to clear the mind. Got to get it done.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it looks like Alex plays for the combination here.
So
we got the gym to start the day, and then you're just thrown right in the lion's den, huh? Just
why not?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I thrive underneath that. I love that kind of stuff.
He likes the heat. You like the heat to be on. Yeah, I understand.
Otherwise, you
got to stay
no
busy.
fun.
You're one of those.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is a tricky combination. You have to cut it a little bit. Just an awkward shot. Handles it very nicely. Center of the hole. Emily?
Lovely jubbly. That's all I can say about that. So that's Alex
Team
Paguline
CSI
taking
wins the rack.
that match. And that takes the final score at the moment, 3-all. Team USA against CSI. And we will be back shortly with the next match.
The score is now 3-3. Did I miss a foul on the side? Did I miss a foul on the side in like the second or third game?
This championship is being played with the new Aramith tournament set. Featuring a unique molecular structure, it guarantees razor-sharp precision and unsurpassed longevity. Unquestionably the best pool balls in the world, this set is available in a TV and a value pack version, as well as in the new My Aramith range of ball and cue cases. Now you can bring and play with the best ball set everywhere you go. My Aramith, bringing new dimensions to your billiards experience.
around the world. Probably don't want to miss it. Moscone Cup. You see boys come up dry here. Mr. Jones is putting on his headset as we speak. Good day, sir.
Oh, thank you, Nick. We've split the first 2 matches, so 3 apiece.
Goes without saying, this is a pivotal race to 5. Do you see Shane banking this to the bottom left?
Well, I'll tell you, that's what he's wanting to do. He's trying to figure out if it's really the play or not. And one thing about Shane is, preach to the other guys, watch how he commits usually. There's not that much in between. Not so many maybes in his game.
Right. Confident player. Looks like he's thinning it and coming around.
Yeah, he's got that big group in the center to get right on the middle of the end rail, something like that, you know. Or the middle of the table, rather, anyways. But again, with a good, decent hit here, not big underdog to get a snooker back, probably. All right, hit it just right to where the cue ball really didn't escape, Nick. So you liking this, huh? Getting a little more comfortable over here on this side of the pool room,
I mean, I love watching pool. It's a pleasure to be in the booth. I'm obviously, you know, honored to be here, delighted to be here. Try not to say too much. Let these boys work. It's like Shane got a little funny here.
Yeah, with the 3 being near, though, and the pink 4 near the side. So the one deal is, you know, if the purple 5 goes in this lower right corner, that really kind of makes the rack pretty easy.
Frees things up a bit, yeah.
Yeah, not easy. Easy is the wrong word, yeah, but like you said, it makes a little more room, I guess.
Sure. And that's what he was just looking at.
I think it was you and I, maybe it was Emily and I yesterday that had discussed that, you know, just not really Shane's fault or anything, but if you quiver in today's pool world, your ranking can drop quickly. And he was like number 15 or 16, and really motivated him. A little extra motivation. He doesn't need a whole lot, but
right. He seems to motivate himself regardless. But of course, I'm sure that fire is burning, right?
Yeah, and he got himself back up to number 2, I believe now. So,
yeah,
right, you know, kind of almost where he wants to be, but. Like you said, you know, one missed ball would motivate Shane for an extra 6 or 8 hours, but he doesn't need much, and he knows the game's changing around the world, and you know, he's probably kind of a target for a lot of guys.
Absolutely, a lot of young, hungry players who've watched Shane play for a decade as kids, hitting balls in their respective pool rooms, and they're coming. Like all sports, the young guys are always coming. Did he play for the Carom here, Jeremy?
He did, and so he's going to have to control the 4. That's. If it overhit a little bit right here, it could get to the end rail. But Shane, you know, a lot of people, you know, he's one of those guys that didn't take him. Oh, okay, goes in the side. Nice shot.
It didn't look like it went in the side from up here, but
yeah,
naturally it did.
And one of those guys that, you know, been around pool since he was 2, 3 years old. His family was involved in it. But once he hit the professional scene, it didn't take him long to win. You know, where most of us, self included, you know, my first year I won 1 match in 7 tournaments. You just got to get used to things, you know. And kind of like Filler. Filler didn't take long before he won big tournaments once he hit the pro scene. But Shane's only, what I was getting at, he's only 36 years old. So a lot of people don't realize he's not going anywhere.
Yeah. I was talking to my good friend John Hennigan the other day about Shane, and this is true, and not that it's the end-all be-all for, you know, but Shane's the only player that I can recall the first time I saw him hit balls, I was just entranced. It was at the Q Club maybe 12 years ago. I was there playing. There's 2 front tables there, the 2 tight boxes, right. And there was a tournament in town, and I'd never seen Shane or heard of him really. And I just saw him hit a rack of balls, and it was just different. There's something about that stroke and that pace and the confidence that you were, you know, I just kind of couldn't believe. And I wasn't sure. I was like, because sometimes you see a guy who runs out, but you don't know if he's a world beater or not.
But doing it, yeah.
You're right. But who the hell is this guy?
Sure.
You know, and it's the only player I can remember the first rack I ever saw them hit I was just blown away.
Yeah, it's almost like the sound of the strike of the cue. And
Yeah, that kid's got a sledgehammer break.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, right, all of it.
Yeah, it's. I think I met Shane the first time at the Sands. I played him in the event a couple times. At the Reno Sands was a pro event on the schedule there for many, many years.
He was probably a teenager or something.
No, actually, I think he was 22-ish,
Okay.
or you know,
Track
actually
number 2,
maybe
Team
maybe
USA
20.
to break.
Actually, now I think
Leading
about it.
1-0.
But yeah, a guy that you could see, you could
just
see.
knew.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think I kind of related to Kachi. First time I watched Kachi, just the build, straight stroke, forward.
Yeah.
You know, just Shane's a little different because he's unique. You know, his style, his delivery, and everything is not.
Right, it's
something
almost
you would
like
teach,
a
you know,
right,
so-
almost like a Strickland Filipino hybrid a little bit.
Right.
It's a little touchy here, Jeremy. What do you like?
Oh, the 8's huge.
As far as the 1 to the 2, yeah. If we go with low left, as Jeremy was saying, that 8 looms.
Yeah.
But high ball's no picnic either.
No, it's almost like you'd love to stun across and just get somewhere where that purple 5 is to maybe take a cut shot on the 2. But that shot's tricky too. It's not like any easier than drawing the ball.
Very awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, and maybe for Carl, you know, who had a little bit of struggle yesterday on a few shots, maybe one that's not so appetizing to him drawing the ball right here. I think this is the type of shot, that center punch, though, that they're real good at. Okay.
Oh,
a little roll. Of
rides a 9 a little, but
yeah.
Last doesn't go his way. Shane has a habit of making these sort of shots look easy, but this is no picnic.
No.
Looking at the combo, it is an option, high
Yeah.
ball, but it looks like maybe he's running into the 8. Could be a little funny, but
Or
that's
maybe
such a
going
big
past
ball
it towards
there,
the
the
side
pink.
pocket, I think.
I think he is playing the combo. He'll follow all the way down below the 2 even, and
I think he's going to eventually shoot it to the upper right.
Extension, please.
I don't know. The combo just looks like if you don't get the down there, the
Maybe the
3 and the
upper.
7 are really covering the 1 up, right? After
yes.
he makes it, I mean, a lot of things can go funny here. I kind of like shooting it to the upper right and following my ball. This is the worry right
play
here.
the combo, and is exactly as Jeremy said, did the 3-7 impede his look at the 1? Maybe he can go rail first and
I
spin
think
it
he
in.
can. Maybe holding for the 2 is a problem because the cue ball is going to have some speed on it going rail
Right.
first.
Can he go into the 3?
Not rail first, I don't. Oh, he did. Nice call, Nick. And the 7 got him.
Unfortunately for him, there's still work to be done, as we see.
Yeah, and I think on that first shot, he kind of felt like he was going to kiss the 8 and go forward.
Right,
you
or
know,
maybe
so-
the point as well could have
Yeah.
been in play. Got the jump cue here. What do you rate the chances are that he pulls this off?
Well, we worked on this. The Rasan jumps a little easier, so these type right here, where you have to get it up and down quickly, become a little more difficult. So I like his chances to actually make it, but watch out for the cue ball. Oh, he decided, heck with that. Oh, he caught the
Foul.
ball.
Oh,
Legal
He
contact.
caught the ball coming out.
well, what a great chance for Team CSI. Obviously, boys here with ball in hand.
Yeah, and for Carl, you know, ball in hand is like the alarm clock. You know, there's never been an alarm clock that kind of wakes you up a little bit
Right.
more in 9-ball than ball in hand. A little time at the table, he'll be breaking in the 3rd game, so maybe Carl can. Well, I figure him to clear these, but maybe get a lead here in this match.
Seems very much a rhythm player, not the kind of guy you want to give ball in hand and then the break to. Really not many kind of guys you want to
Well,
afford that
none
luxury
we
on
want to
this
see
level.
this week
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Not too many around these parts this week. Oh,
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Carl. I was about to say, Carl, if he replied, would probably say something like, "That's exactly how I wanted to hit it."
yeah. He keeps it light out there.
And Carl with the furthest trip out of all these players, coming over with, you know, with the rest of the matchroom crew and everyone else from England. So a bit more of adjustment to get used to when it comes to the travel. And how do you feel about that? Of course, pool's physical game, but poker, you do a lot of worldwide traveling with the poker, or you used to anyways. Was that like you had to get your mind right a few days?
It's a real thing. I think
yeah.
the jet lag hits us a little harder the older we get. But yeah, the fatigue is real.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been there a million times
yeah,
yourself.
you could see the difference though when you arrived late and had to play poker.
Absolutely, the fogginess. Yeah. I mean, sometimes hindsight's 20/20, but you look back on decisions made, or I'm sure, you know, errors made on the pool table, and it's like, man, it's almost like you weren't even there when that jet lag takes a hold of you. It is tough. Team Europe is stateside. They have been for a while, right?
Yeah,
Cali, warming up and stuff, getting used to the time difference. I don't really think they have a choice. You got to get here about a week early. And that's the weird thing about that jet lag, too. It can last for, sometimes you're on a trip for 10 days. It's like, man, you're just getting tired every day at 5 p.m., no matter what you do.
Well, everything's a little different. You know, the water's different.
Right.
What they cook with is different. Everything's a little different. I always felt like Asia was way worse than Europe, myself.
Yeah.
Okay, tough push-out situation.
Yeah, we were talking about this yesterday. It's always tough to just push out to a guy like Van Boning. I mean,
yeah. And I don't know. I don't think you've been in the booth when I mentioned it before, but he's the most interesting guy you ever watched push out.
Shane.
Yeah, because
elaborate.
Well, he doesn't do it the traditional way. You know, usually in sports, pool, anything you play, when you got the worst of it or you're trailing, you try to lengthen the game. Well, in rollout, we've always been taught that as well. You've got the worst of it, so why not tie a ball up? Make it not really runnable. Where he pushes out to the most difficult thing in the history of the planet. You know what I mean? Like, and he
wants to get back to the table,
or he wants to test you. He wants to roll out to a tough shot or a tough safety where the balls are open. Where if you make that mistake, or you know they're open, so the pressure is really on.
So much confident, basically making the proposal, I think you're a dog from here and I'm a favorite.
Exactly.
So, you know.
Which is an incredible way to look at things, and it's probably, you know, actually the correct way for him.
And it's a bit of a psychological kind of, you know, it's a little bit intimidating too, right? Keep that heat on when a guy is like, sure.
Well, most of us roll out super tough trying to tie a ball up sometimes or whatever, where there's some security, but there's security for the incoming player when you do that as well. So now when you don't tie that ball up and you roll out uber tough, well, how much pressure is him taking the shot?
Excellent point, yeah. So interesting to watch this guy navigate the pool table. What do you like here? Is he banking it up by the 6? A little awkward. I like this push out from Carl, and he does give it back.
Which is rare.
I guess he feels that it's just hard to hook your opponent.
Well,
he can create distance, but it's hard to, you know, leave him real safe.
Well, there's a lot of gaps, and I think holding the 2-ball, like clipping it is one thing, but being able to contain the the 2-ball, excuse me, that's the problem. Oh, he's hitting the other side. Okay. So actually wasn't that bad a play. It was kind of like a percentage thing. I catch the 3 a lot of different ways.
Yeah,
you
maybe
know.
the bank goes in. Maybe we leave him safe. Unfortunately for him, obviously, left him a great look.
And he's got to shoot the gap on the center of the table for the 3. So he's got to get out off the rail here.
Punch it a little bit.
Yeah.
It is awkward, as Jeremy was saying. The 8 impedes vision to the 3 if you don't come out enough. And that 7-8 field goal window is not that simple. So
no, that's why you don't really come backwards with the cue ball. Really, you try to just go one rail straight over.
Do you even just go with a high ball and just ensure?
Maybe. But Shane doesn't really like that too much. He even when he's got to shoot a gap, and
he's probably punching
he's
it,
hit
but
center kind of.
Yeah,
he aiming a little low, come up a little bit on the cue ball. And I don't think so. It's real close.
Looks like he didn't get there based on his body language.
Yeah.
See momentarily.
You may see a long railer here.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 for the 4 on the right-hand side. Maybe leave
yeah.
him safe as well. Maybe he can just see it the way he's cueing it. Spin it in a little.
Oh, that's the 5, so he's got to get to the pink 4.
Was
Shane
able to see
very
it.
aware. Whoa, look at that ball. But have we seen, though, right? And this is, you know, where they can't check the rack. You know, no template. But have you seen how much work every rack is? How much more work it is?
Yes.
You know, balls from one end to the end.
Yes,
back
yes,
over. You
yes.
know, you just see a lot more pool, you know.
Yes. I quite like it, honestly.
Me too. Yeah, me too. Well, you want to see the best players in the world. You want to see their have to stretch out a little bit.
Slightly funny here, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Slightly. Expect Shane to handle this, but he has sort of an awkward angle. I guess he's just drawing
Got
it
to kind of
straight
soft
back.
draw it. Soft draw it, I
He's
think.
going to cheat the pocket slightly, hit it thick.
Oh, no, he went
He's
in.
going to the rail and over. A beautiful stroke on this guy. Forgive the obvious, but
Yeah.
he just makes those shots look so easy.
Well, he creates the angle with power and then still has the control.
Got the
coming down
power and
table.
he's got the finesse. Lethal combination on the pool table.
I'll tell you, I've been around him a lot in my life, but the last 2 years, going on 2 years now, I've seen some special kind of stuff in some extreme situations. Last year's trip to Russia, what he did, if you want to see some pool that's just out of this world, to win matches, I'm talking about to win the whole thing. Like runouts, like, nobody's getting out.
Yeah.
He did it for a month straight. And then we went on to the Euro Tour, and he just destroyed the Euro Tour. 150 guys that can play.
The beast, man. The beast. If you're just tuning in, this is the Moscone Cup warm-up. Main event starts the 25th from Mandalay Bay through the 28th. You can catch it on DAZN in the States, Sky Sports Arena and Mix in the UK, and globally around the world on various channels. We're at the legendary Griff's Pool Hall here in Las Vegas. Got Shane Van Boening down here. Got Alex Paguline down here. All-time great Jeremy Jones here in the booth. Also has coaching duties next week. Busy week for you boys getting ready. Team USA in the warm-up here versus Team CSI. And a very pivotal match here. It goes without saying. 3-3, first to 5 points. Massive race to 5.
Yeah. And
see who takes this warm-up match.
All these warm-ups we played have been hill pretty much for the last couple of years.
Which is good, yeah.
No, it's great. I mean, that just shows you the
rack number 4,
the
Team
talent
USA
around
to
the
break,
world.
leading
Yeah.
2-1.
This is like, could put together a lot of these types of teams.
Shane set to break.
Looks like the 6 is going to get down. He's going to have a nice starter on the 1.
Now, did he intend to put so much kind of backspin on the break? Is he experimenting with different looks, or was he just trying to squat the rock and it just got slightly away from him?
No, sometimes when, Shane, not saying that he's a real inspector of the rack to try and make balls one way or
But
another.
he'll do different crafty things, right?
Yeah, and when he feels like it's very random, he just get rearing back and smacking him.
Yeah,
He kind of ignores the cue ball.
Old school,
yeah.
yeah.
Just whack
Let's
him,
make some balls. And
move,
yeah.
Let me get the most movement, whatever it is, out of the object balls.
And you hate to just start conceding racks on the 2-ball, but we've all come accustomed to Mr. Van Boening handling his business in spots like these. Little right-hand spin, 1-2 across. Oh, just like that. I got to stop riding the broom on these guys, man. It ain't over till she sings. And what a great break for Team CSI as Boys returns to the table. Maybe a little thin, but a look for sure.
Yeah, a little stretch.
That table's tough, huh, pal?
It is tough. And, you talked about where Shane won't float the ball with the right as much. His fundamental doesn't set up for that as much, where he'll pound it back and forth and take a little more shot.
Extension, please.
So just a little bit of a thick hit there. Now, Carl shouldn't have any problem with the crutch. It's just a matter, can he slow the cue ball down for the 3? Because the monitor right here doesn't really tell you how thin this is. It's usually a little thinner. Bump the pink, the purple?
Or the purple, yeah. Just a high ball into the purple. Looks like he's spinning it, maybe coming around the way he's kind of cueing.
Well, it's
but
outside pocket, right?
Does just float it in. Plays for the 3 in the corner. Beautifully done. Even leaves himself the perfect angle. That was a great shot.
Yeah, well, Carl, he, again, a lot of him has Moscone experience, a lot of big experience, whether it's the English 8-ball.
Yeah.
Made a run at the IPT in a few events back in the day. Oh, that's a little short there now. Oh, no, excuse me. I was looking at the purple 5 again.
It's got it. It's funny. It didn't get me last match, but having you in the booth, it gets me more because I think we just go autopilot on that.
Sure.
That is the 5, the purple 5. We'll get there. That was a little bit strange. I think he was trying to draw back, and he basically just stopped his ball.
Yeah.
I think.
The guys get worried of overdrawn on this slip table. So.
He certainly didn't want to have to deal with this shot, though.
He's got to deal with the 8 a little bit, right?
Yeah.
There's some bad rubs on the 8 there. There's some bad rubs on the 8 there, and that's one of them. I believe that's one of them anyways.
Pretty sure. I mean, you saw it instantly, Jeremy. That 8 loomed larger than it looked. It's just one tiny ball on a big pool table, but if that angle is naturally carrying you into it,
yeah,
problems can arise.
Well, and it's like we talked about yesterday. It's a long-term process, really. Like, you know, 8 out of 10, that ball, you bump it, it doesn't bother you, but it just sneaks up at the wrong times, it seems like. Oh, wow, he swished that one, I think.
But the hole. If you get it done, you get it done, even if it ain't pretty.
That's right.
Got to use a little bit of right-hand spin here to get down.
Yeah, this is where you got to make a decision on this table. You know, do I want to aim? He's close enough to it, but sometimes that right-hand spin kind of grabs. I may just lay up on the side rail and
just
take
accept the thin cut.
Yeah, like there, it caught thick because he wanted to add the right.
You're exactly
and he grabs
right,
the ball
Jeremy,
differently, you know. So it's not about playing your average everyday pool, really, that these guys play. It's really not.
Could have been a little bit of a confidence issue as well. He wanted to get closer to his work.
Sure. You know, and when I comment about things, I really
Here at the warm-up, Moscone Cup starts the 25th through the 28th next week. If you're just tuning in live from Mandalay Bay, you can catch it on DAZN, Sky Sports, globally around the world. Brought to you by Matchroom Pool, Matchroom Multisport. Going to be a beautiful event. There it is, Mandalay Bay, south side of the Strip. Check it out.
Score right?
Yeah, now Carl Boys to break off in game number 4, trailing 3-1, and the matches are tied at 3 apiece. So whoever wins this match is going to get to the hill first and have 2 chances to win this.
Score's not right. Score's right now. Current score 3-1 in favor of Team USA. Team CSI breaking.
Sweet combination by Carl there to cut this lead to 3-2.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to shake that 8-ball off with a quick W. 3-2's 3-2, Jeremy. This is a match.
Oh, absolutely. Especially, you know, I always felt like, I know the math doesn't tell me otherwise, or maybe it does, but, you know, when I won the lag, it's weird. I just always felt like it was easier to make that one game comeback and then, you know, jump right on them. I don't know, something about that winning that lag makes a big difference on the comeback. Because if you do tie it, you're in the lead.
Yeah.
Because you're breaking, you know, it's just a confidence thing.
Current score is 3-2.
Shane comes with something different. He
Team
is.
USA,
I think his
Team
last
USA
break was sort of from the box. Now he's coming from the rail, or near the rail rather. As Jeremy was saying before, it just smashes him. And he hates to see that. He's come up dry. Left Carl a look on the 1. Work to be done, though.
Yeah,
Does the 2 slide by that pink 4 in the side?
I think so. I think so. And Speed's crucial, though. I mean, he can handle. This is where if you're worried about like falling like on a funny angle, like no angle, go ahead and go past it, and you got the corner or the side with a little angle.
He came down.
Yeah. Well, now he should.
Speaking of funny angles, maybe though.
And that's what I mean. Like play for a little more angle, because you see how clear the upside of the
Yeah.
table is to come back down, right? So a little more decisive on what you're going to do with it. Now he's probably going to have to play safe on the 3, maybe. I don't know. Pretty tough here.
He
He's got
kind
to
of
force
loaded
his
up
ball,
with that
right?
high punchy left and come 1, 2, 3 around just south of the purple 5 ball to play the 3 by the 8.
Yeah, that would be
Extension,
nice.
please.
Awkward. Very awkward shot.
Yeah, you got to be comfortable with it.
Because he's so flat, he really has to do a lot of work to manipulate the cue ball around the table.
And he's just going to play, not fish too far from the shore here. He's just going to play a tidy safety, probably maybe soft spinning behind the 8, like a real light. Let the right English take a lot.
Yeah, you have to be careful not to drag it in the hole.
Right. Well, he's not going to draw it. He'll just use a thick hit and let it spread. Oh, he played the chip. And that's a bit of his snooker background there.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah. And recognizing that quickly. I think he's left an edge for Shane, though, where Shane can cross the 3 over to the back rail and kind of run the cue ball, I believe. He'll want to get the 3 all the way over and watch out for the scratch up in the top left.
Watch out for the scratch, Jeremy said.
Yeah.
So watch out for just leaving him a shot.
Yeah, not an easy one, though.
No, but kind of natural maybe to use a high ball, just make it, come back out.
Yeah.
But not easy at all.
And maybe, you know, if you get the bump on the 9, it ain't that bad a thing, I don't think. And we'll get another look here at the table. But I think even if you catch the 9 a little bit, it may still lead you into position.
Does just opt for a safety shot, although he lets Shane see it and be pretty close to the work.
Well, this is
It's
where
really a bad thing to do when you're playing Mr. Van B.
He's going to edge this, but if you're really inept at kicking behind
Right.
this, right? You
Kick
can
and stick.
Yeah, kick and stick up the table. Yeah, it's going to be too much. So they're kind of going to start over, but now with Carl with this similar shot that Shane played just moments ago.
Again, watch the scratch in the top left.
Yeah, and this one has a hair more of a chance of kissing, just a hair more.
Yeah.
You know, meaning double kissing the cue ball, you know, somewhere maybe a foot right of the 9, we're about in that position there. Now, if he adds right English, he can avoid it, but now he's got to manipulate the cue ball between the 8 and the 10, or 8 and the 9, excuse me, like that. So a little bit more uncertainty, you might say.
I think he did dial in on trying to hook him on the 6, maybe hit the 9 full and not leave such a good look. Don't know if the 3 squeaks by the 8. A little bit tough to tell from here.
Yeah, and next week we'll have all those camera angles. CSI has done a great job here, but of course it won't be anything like next week's setup. Now, is he just rolling this past the 9, bumping the 3 to the bottom rail? He's just putting it past the 9. Oh, he's playing a safety. Oh, great
play
shot.
the carom. Yeah, beautiful.
Great shot. And a little awkward angle here. It's wanting to go a little away from what is ideal.
Yeah, if you play it for the
side pocket, maybe?
If you play it for the right-hand side pocket, you really kind of want to get straight on it, because the purple 5 is a little bit precarious, where if you leave yourself too much angle, you could have issues. Maybe he's punching it out and across. Does play for it in the side, and he has come a little bit beyond ideal. However, such an adept cueman.
Yeah.
Probably come on down to the R and Rasan and back out.
Yeah. Now, Shane is one of the guys, and one of the few guys you'll see that doesn't mind really turning up the speed, you might say, for this table. A lot of guys on the TV table stay a little lighter with the stroke. Of course, it moves easier, but even on the shots that require more speed, they're a little tentative with it, just because of the deflection and different things to master. But Shane now, and maybe because he spent more time on the TV table than anybody in the world the last dozen years.
Goes without saying, that's an enormous factor. Is he banking this one, Jeremy?
Yeah, it looks like it. it's kind of the one that's hard to hang when it's coming from that angle. So it usually gets away if you
Air
miss
on
it.
the side of thickness.
Yeah, great shot.
Had the 9 in the way too. Beautiful speed to just be able to roll this 6 in.
Yeah, and
come off the rail slightly.
And a little bit of a nervy shot that you got to roll in here because there's a hair more angle than you think. You know?
He's in that discussion of best bank pool players, right? Or not quite in that upper echelon.
Well,
like
maybe, you know, when you're talking about, you know, maybe 9-ball banks, probably he's probably up there just because.
Right, full rack banks.
Yeah, a little moving and whatnot. But you always talk about banks. Banks is all about straight cue and a good stroke.
Yeah.
All the great bankers have great strokes, and I guess Shane meets those qualities pretty well.
Extension, please.
Now, is he hitting downward on this, or is he just going to hit a high ball and catch the point?
I think he's trying to decide himself.
Great shot. So to get on the heel here, and really an important position because Shane only has one more break left in this match. Very important.
If you're just joining us, this is the warm-up match. The real deal is next week, the 25th through the 28th. Moscone Cup is back. Be live from Mandalay Bay. If you're in the States, check it out on DAZN. If you're in the UK, it's Sky Sports Arena and Mix. It's being brought to you by Matchroom Pool, Matchroom Multisport. Team USA warming up here versus Team CSI. Very formidable team, world-class players. Boys set to break.
And also for, I don't know, for some reason I kind of like it. Got postponed yesterday. Coming in today, I get a feeling the guys a little bit more, one more day closer to the Moscone, and not saying they weren't serious, but just a little bit different mind, you know, frame of mind today. I feel maybe a lot of people started getting in here yesterday. A lot of friends got a little distracted, you know, so.
Makes sense.
Well, again, you can see there's work. Even though made balls, he's got a shot on the 1, but
goes into the 8, and he'll find himself precariously close to the deuce. Can he still slice it in the side the way he's kind of looking at it?
I don't think that one's doable. Yeah, I think he's got to push the 2 over near the 7 and come one rail all the way down. You know, hit the top rail and come all the way down below the 4 and the 5. I think that's all he's got, the safety. Play the deuce just naturally over.
Yeah.
One rail with the top left inside and kind of
like
coast.
He's trying to hook him on the 7, Jeremy, maybe. Trying to spin it, or.
That's touchy. He's trying to cut it, I think. Oh, he was trying to use the 7. Maybe a kiss shot. Well, Carl he's played some English 8-ball here of late. I talked to him before. He said he's played 8 events in the last, you know, like 6-8 months, which is nice. But coming back into 9-ball, he couldn't have drawn a tougher opponent.
Yeah, 3-3 in the overall match. 1 race versus Shane Van Boning is a tall order for anyone, let alone somebody who's has a smidge of 9-ball rust, let's say. Nicely done there.
Yeah, great shot there.
Quite a bit tougher than it looked to thin that ball perfectly and have your speed just dialed in.
Yeah, because at this level, when you give them a piece of the ball, you're usually going to end up with the worst of it after the shot's over with.
Carl with the jump cue. Nice strike.
Yeah, he's going to.
Does he get away with it?
I think so.
Very nice. This kick Shane has coming up, Jeremy, do you apply draw to it?
I think so. I think so. You know, if the 7 wasn't there, you may be able to hit a high ball and try and run the cue ball like a 3-cushion shot, kind of like, and maybe get some separation that way. But I don't know, man. This is.
Do you hit this hard and gamble a bit?
I think so. I really do. That's what he was actually looking at, was the shot I was talking about with a high ball. But then you have to hit it hard as well, because then the ball's got to deflect a little bit to get going. And
what exactly are you referring to with a high ball? You're trying to just
let the two end up on that end and make the cue ball move all the way around table.
He's playing that, or maybe something in between.
He
is playing that shot.
Yeah, he was trying to get some kind of separation of some sort.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting now. The pink 4 doesn't pass the 9, and no angle on the 2.
Maybe you just try to come on down and sort of freeze it on this bottom rail and
play the
and
combo?
Accept the 4-9. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, that's what the 2's telling you anyways. He could hold the ball there and play for the safety, maybe bank the 4 back up and play a kiss shot, you know, like
yeah,
put the 4
two-way
up by
shot.
the 7 and play
Definitely
the kiss
an
shot.
option.
All right, so it's the combo, and he's a favorite.
Tough shot, though.
7 out of 10 for these guys, I think. On
right.
The
Do you
shot.
play it rail first and stick
No,
there?
I don't think so.
Just a little too high up?
If I was laying that, or I didn't have to cut the 4 much, I think I do that. But otherwise, I just play it natural. You just got to ease it in, and he overcut it.
That's what he did. He did overcook it. Shane could maybe bank this cross side and play the carom, although it might be a little too straight for that.
Yeah, I think if it was really dire straits, he may be ducking here, but I don't mind him banking.
Yeah, up 4-2 as well, which gives him a little cushion.
Well, that's where his time on these types of tables, the slick tables, really, really shows up, those types of shots. Well, this is all but curtains here. Just one follow shot to the end rail. You can see the 8 very handy.
Yeah, you don't want this guy on the hill with this sort of a look. And boys put up a fight, but SVB looks like he's crawling his way towards top form for next week.
Yeah, well,
it's pretty good out there, Jeremy.
He just had a recent match. It was a long match with one of the best in the world, and he just destroyed
He handled his business, didn't he? Yeah. 5-2 Van Boning here at the Moscone warm-up. We'll be back soon. USA on the hill, first to 5 points. You like to see that, don't you, Coach?
I do. Stay tuned.
This championship is being played with the new Aramith tournament set. Featuring a unique molecular structure, it guarantees razor-sharp precision and unsurpassed longevity. Unquestionably the best pool balls in the world, this set is available in a TV and a value pack version, as well as in the new My Aramith range of ball and cue cases. Now you can bring and play with the best ball set everywhere you go. My Aramith, bringing new dimensions to your billiards experience.
We'll see what's going on at the end. This may be the last game. No, we're ready. Ready, guys? You need a minute? You need a minute? Okay. Hold on 1 minute, guys. I need a minute. Thank you. Yeah, we got to do that all through over there. We're good? Gentlemen, we ready? Our current match score is 4-3 in favor of Team USA. Gentlemen, you may lag for break. Team CSI wins the lag.
Back, ladies and gentlemen. John Morris set to break here. Joined in the booth by Carl Boyes. Must-win match for you guys, Carl. Down 4-3. A bit of a toughie versus Shane. How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling all right. Obviously, it was a tall order trying to beat the great Shane Van Bonen when you're off the pool scene, but didn't disgrace myself too much.
Indeed.
Shane played great though. He looks really sharp, does Shane Van Bonen. Looks up for this year's Mosconi Cup.
Nice shot there from Bergman. Cheated the pocket slightly, dragged it in. It's that side rail a little bit. It's a good angle here. A little tricky though. Speed has to be good. Getting on this red 3. He's going to try to come across, I believe. Kind of get to where his bridge hand is now. And did he overcook it? Real nice. I think this 5 goes in the bottom right, Carl. He's got the pink 4 that he has to deal with next, but regarding the purple 5.
Yeah, he's just got to play this through the gap.
Well, he might knock it out a little bit.
Well, he needed the world then, didn't he? You just felt.
Yeah. It seems we're off to the jump cue.
Now, it's fairly straight, so as long as he gets over this ball, you expect him to go pretty close. Well, complete miss it there, come across the cue ball, and that's why it spun off the edge of the ball and left the table. So Johnny Mora with a ball in hand and a little gift.
(4-3) Team USA in the warm-up. Goes without saying, this is literally a must-win match for Team CSI, and as Carl just said, that is a bit of a gift here to get ball in hand on this pretty simple run out. Still got to do it though.
Yeah, he played the first shot right-handed, and the second shot's going to be left-handed.
Very steady player, John Mora, methodical, pretty relaxed out there.
Sure, all our viewers tuning in would like to see this match go hill-hill. Let's hope Johnny Boy can bring it home.
Well done. Who is slated for the hill-hill match if it gets there, do you know?
We've got, I do believe we've got Vilmos.
In singles action, or?
Yeah, it's all singles now from the remainder. As being captain, I should have known that answer, but I think it's Vilmos.
One nothing. John Mora, Team CSI takes the early lead. He was eyeing that cue ball almost like he was trying to do a little something more than just make the 9. I don't know. Maybe he was working on a little drill there to get a dead center. Maybe he was looking at something else. Just tuning in, this is the Mosconi Cup warm-up between Team USA and Team CSI. The member of Team CSI sitting next to me here, Carl Boyes. We're at Griff's in Vegas. You can catch the Mosconi Cup next week, 25th through the 28th, live from Mandalay Bay. If you're in the States, it's on DAZN. If in the UK, it's on Sky Sports Arena and Mix. Brought to you by Matchroom Pool. Matchroom Multisport should be a good one. USA versus Team Europe. 12 apiece in the history of the illustrious Cup. USA are the defending champions, but goes without saying Team Europe looks awfully strong, and they're ready to go to avenge that loss. Bergman set to break.
Break number 2. Current scores.
Yeah, very
1-0 in
intrigued
favour
to
of
see
Team
the Bergman
CSI.
break off.
Team USA to break.
It's kind of a well-known fact. It's not his strongest asset. So let's have a look.
He does lose the cue ball a little bit and come up dry. Fortunately for him, he didn't leave more with a clean look. Do you kick it this straight away, Carl, or do you push out?
Push out.
Good question. Well, we've heard him say push. I mean, the problem there is the kick shot. I mean, yeah, you could get behind the 4, but you've got to hit it so good. So.
Yeah.
But where he was looking at pushing, well, he's aiming at the 6, so he's going to
try to tie things up a little, or try to knock the 3 down a bit.
That's not too bad, but has he left the pot?
If he's left it just straight in, it's
Yeah, I think
quite
he
a
has,
big mistake.
He has. He's left the pot
No,
there.
if he has. He's just left him a clean look.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, there you see it.
That's a very big error on a push out. Goes without saying.
Yeah, I think he was intending to get the 6 ball to cover the 1, and then maybe when he kicks it, he's got another ball down there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he was strategizing a bit, as Carl was saying. But again, tough error there to just leave Justin a relatively easy shot. Not certain if the purple slides by that 9. He's looking at it now, trying to decide which route to go. Does he leave himself an angle to play the 5 in the same pocket as the 4? Does he get a little straighter, play the purple in the bottom left? Looks a smidge awkward, but
I wonder if he's going to draw into the 6 and just
trying to knock
the
it by
off.
the side, yeah.
No, we're overthinking it, but the looks of it,
Just
it's fine.
bouncing out, natural position, yeah.
Doesn't want to be straight, does he? I'm not saying, you know, an angle there, you just can come out and it's very easy straight. You've still got to perform a little bit of a shot. I think he's just going to spin it round the back of the 9.
Nice recovery there.
So this match is just about to go 1-1. It will be John Morra to break in the third.
Morris set to break.
Current score is 1-1. Team CSI to
Such
break.
an interesting player. John Morris used to play right-handed due to some pain, switched to left-handed, but as we see, does break right-handed. He'll switch hands mid-rack.
Yeah, switched left-handed and plays at such a high level still.
It's amazing. How's your opposite-handed game, Carl?
I can pot a ball, so I can play left if I need to, but as far as, you know, cue ball control and all that, no, that's not quite there. Not like John's anyway.
But you're not, you know, helpless, so to speak. You could
No.
play a little bit with the opposite
Yeah,
hand, like
I
you're
mean,
still fairly strong for
yeah,
the,
I mean,
you know, for the world.
Yeah, if I was playing, I can,
Yeah.
you know, I can, you know, if they're all there, I can run out lefty and stuff like that. But I mean, to do what John's done, I mean, it's more a case of to have the drive to do that. That's what I think. 'Cause if I had to switch to my left, I'd just, well, I quit and I play right. So if I had to start playing left-handed, I don't think it'd be for me. Needs a little help here. Needs a little help, and that'll work.
Got away with that one. Does get him on the 9. This is awfully tricky for Bergman. So if he goes short, that he was looking at, short of the 8 that is, he'd try to come 1-2 across into the 2, and if he goes long of the 8, the pink 4 looms. What do you like here, Carl? It's awfully
I like
awkward.
that 9 ball, that's what I like. The old bumblebee.
Does come short 1-2 across and doesn't lengthen it up enough. A nice look from Morra.
Yeah, it's the type of shot where it'd be nice to have 2 goes at it. There you see. The new 9 ball.
Pretty slick, the black and yellow. The bumblebee.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, I know a few people online have said some things, but keyboard warriors will slate anything. Goes without saying, it's important just to take these chances. John's told me he's been playing a lot of pool, so I mean, the only reason why I played the second singles match, or was it the third? Who've we had up so far? Yeah, the second singles match is because I didn't fancy the job if it went hill-hill. I bottled it. I thought, just get me out of the way.
Understood. Get it out, rip it off like a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Try to put the point up, but let somebody who's a little bit more in stroke.
Yeah, I was a little bit unlucky. I drew Shane, to be honest. Could have done with avoiding him. There you see a good look at John's left-handed stroke. Oh, cue action. Well, he needs a bit of help here because he's got the wrong line. It's
Does got away with it a little bit.
Yeah, that's not too bad. Wasn't intended. This is just a case of focusing on the pot because the cue ball's naturally running over to where you need it. So just pot your ball, John. Also key, you want to aim for that right hand jaw. Don't aim for the left hand, because if you catch the rail, there you see, just catches the rail.
Just as you said, yeah. If you're going to err one side or the other, err on the side that offers a little bit of forgiveness. Just the right-hand rail, as Carl was saying, slide it in a bit. A little bit straight on his work here. Might have to draw back to the rail and out. Shouldn't be a problem, but does have to come with it a little bit. Good stroke.
Yeah, he's not quite out of the water yet, is he? Just because it depends where this 7. If the 7's touching the rail, it can just be a little tricky.
I think it's just off. Do you accept the 8 in the top left corner if you have to, or are you trying to draw back out to center table and so on?
No, as long as I'm away from the pocket, even if I've got like a blind pocket shot up into that corner, I'd be happy. Just where the 9 ball's situated and all. Because you don't want to get into this too much and lose the cue ball.
He does come 1-2 across. Watch out for the side. It looks like he's okay. He's going to give it a little nudge.
That's the problem. Whenever you're letting it fly like that, it can go anywhere, and it has to be said. The pool gods are on his side in rack number 3. So this Bumblebee 9 ball for a 2-1 lead.
Handles his business. If you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at the warm-up. The real deal's next week. Starts the 25th, concludes the 28th, live from Mandalay Bay. In the States, catch it on DAZN. The UK, catch it on Sky Sports Arena and Mix. It's brought to you by Matchroom Pool, Matchroom Multisport. Team USA warming up versus the very formidable Team CSI. Giving them a real go of it. We can see 4-3 USA in the overall, first to 5 points. Bergman set to break here. Team Europe is undoubtedly hitting balls right now themselves. Getting ready for next week's Cup. Global event, broadcast live in over 100 countries.
Rack number 4. Current score is Team CSI 2-1, Team USA to break.
So lost the cue ball a little bit on his last break. Let's see what he can do.
We see the USA coaches in the background looking on intently at Bergman's break. Did he come up dry, Carl?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad hit. There was a bit of power in there, and as you said, he's come up dry, and luckily for him, the 8 balls.
Can John maybe play a two-way shot? I don't know if the double kiss is there. Perhaps he could just pull out the jump cue, but maybe a bank cross corner with some high right, kind of coming towards the 3-4.
Yeah, usually when the cue ball and the object ball is in a kind of line of the pocket, if you like, a straight line.
Kiss.
It means you've got to juice it up because you'll get the double kiss. But I think he's having a go, like you said, especially the way he's cueing down on this cue ball.
He did kind of more air, I think, on the safety shot. Got a nice little nudge there from the purple 5.
Wow, look
and
at
hung
that.
up the 9. Bergman has his work cut out for him here, Carl. What do you like?
I think he can get through the gap, can't he? The pink 4 and the blue 2. I think he can get off the top rail.
And just kick to the bottom rail?
Yeah, and just kick it like that.
A little bit awkward with this 9 hanging, though.
Extension.
Yeah, I don't know if he looked at...
Make the 9 and tie up the
3,
3-4? I don't know, though. With ball in hand, he could certainly leave an angle to break him up. This is a little funny here.
I think if you're playing like somebody who's not very good, that would be an option.
Right, but versus John Morrow with
yeah.
ball in hand, it's not so lovely.
But it's not the worst, if like
That's
you say,
what
if
he's
you
doing. You really have to tie up this 3-4. It goes without saying.
Foul.
And he has done that.
Yeah, it's a pretty smart shot. The only problem is, if John can get low on this 2,
so natural,
then he will have a breakout option. But it's not a bad shot, that, to be fair.
We start the clock.
And the 8 and the 5 and the 9 obviously impede just getting perfect position on the 2. Which route speaks to you the most with this ball in hand, Carl?
Not this one. No. It depends. Is he going to try and bump into the 9? He's using the 9 as a target.
Drawing kind of beneath the 7, so hugging the left-hand side rail, maybe even coming underneath, sort of towards the 9-ish. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, because if he's trying to hit the 9 off one rail, he'd put it a little thinner, wouldn't he?
I think he's dragging it under the 7. Well, he does come between. Watch out. Watch out.
Sit.
I think he might have sort of gotten perfect-ish. Not perfect, but I think he has a little angle where he can bump into the balls. As Carl was saying, he was trying to go into the 9, basically. And let's see how he handles this one. Note that he's going righty. Maybe.
Yeah, I think going right would be a smart move, because playing it right, you would be low on the shot. You see how he's sat on the table?
Yeah.
So he's queuing down now, so this makes the shot a little bit harder to judge.
Yeah, watch the 4. Hit a little bit thin. Don't know if that combination, that kick combination is an option. Don't think it is. He's looking at it.
I think just a couple of shots he's played, I still don't think he's 100% left-handed, me.
Yeah, I think he would tell you the same thing too, that he's just, it's a work in progress, let's say.
Yeah, just not quite there yet. You just sense that, don't you?
Maybe this combination does go. Ooh.
Foul.
Wow, he's missed the 3 ball. First glance, I thought the purple 5 ball was going to go a little funky, but yeah, that's a poor shot. That you should be hitting the 3 ball, worst case scenario. And just
Yeah, I think maybe the spin just didn't grab. You know how this new cloth is, Carl. It can slide on you, but certainly he should have made contact with the 3. Goes without saying. A big mistake. Nice chance for Bergman here. A little bit of work to be done. I don't know if he plays for the combination off of the pink or tries to get something on the 5 straight away, but do expect him to handle this. Let's play for the combination. Looks like he's gotten pretty perfect. You have to be careful, though, as you have to control having a shot on the 5 next. Looks like he can just play it and stop, though. Don't want the 9 to get in the way. Perfect.
Well, he didn't hit that good, did he? I think he was trying to draw back.
Yeah, perhaps he was a little bit skittish about a potential miscue, and he should be okay, but as you said, a little bit more work than he would have liked, certainly.
Yeah, this is all about the speed, isn't it? Obviously, he's going to find the right path, but just speed is everything. And there you see he's a little short because speed was... That's bounced off more than I thought it was going to. So that's not too bad. I thought it was going to just stop maybe 2 or 3 inches more to the right.
He just crept up there enough, and if he had stopped there, it would have been legitimately funny. Here, though, he should be okay, whether a high ball or low left across the table. Looks like he's going with the latter. Nicely struck. Two-two, race to 5. USA is on the hill here in the Mosconi Cup warm-up.
Right.
Probably already know what it is, but going to keep reminding you guys that the real deal is next week, 25th through the 28th, live from Mandalay Bay. You can catch it on DAZN in the States, Sky Sports Arena and Mix in the UK. It's being broadcast in over 100 countries. Check out the Matchroom Pool site to see where it's playing locally. It's going to be a good one. Team USA versus Team Europe. Here in the warm-up, we have Team CSI giving them a run for their money, 2-2 here in this must-win set for Team CSI. Johnny Morris set to break.
Yeah, regardless of the result
Current
of this
score is
match,
2-2.
I think
Team CSI to
Johan's
break.
had a good look at what's going on with his guys, and I think over the next few days they need to work on some stuff, because I think a few of their players don't look too sharp to me.
Yeah, it's definitely been a productive match. As you said, Carl, I'm sure they'll take this look at it. And
That was a nice break there, but as you can see, he's on the red 3.
Things. Yeah.
And he's no pot there, has he? So
no, it looks like he can see all of it. I don't know if he just banks it up kind of towards the center diamond on that top rail and kind of accepts the distance, or if he goes for a safety that's a bit more ambitious. Let's see. He's just banking it up to that top rail. Maybe Justin plays a similar shot back.
yeah, the pink 4-ball's in like one of the nastiest places on a pool table, where, you know, when it's jammed on the rail just near that side.
I think he's looking at the combination, but rather stopping the 3-ball there, trying to hit the 6 flush if he goes off the right side of the 3 and come 1, 2, 3 around, maybe behind the 9 if it really turns out great. I think that's what he's looking at.
Yeah, he'd love this cue ball to find the right path of the 9, and it looks good to me, you know.
Might
Looks
be
good.
right there.
Yeah, it is a wonderful
Does it
shot.
squeak out? What a beauty there to just hook him on that 9. Note all of the distance that he had to travel to get to the 3, and then off of the 3 to come around the table. Really a beautiful shot there.
Yeah, wonderful execution there from the last minute pick, Justin Bergman. So just going one rail, trying to hit this 3. Give yourself an option. Is it your day? It's good hit, and it's not too bad, you know.
Yeah, it looks like the 6 crept in the way. He might have half of a pocket, but if he doesn't, it's not too bad at all. Justin will have to do something, either slice it to the top right, which is awfully thin. Combination looks a little bit tricky. Does have some safety options. The way he's kind of looking at it, though, I think it goes, Carl.
Yeah, he's bearing down. And if it does go, as you said, the 4-ball's on the right side of the table, so just focus on the pot. Oh, that looks nasty. Oh,
What a great
wonderful
shot. Much better shot than it sort of looked. He kind of had half a pocket there on already very tough equipment. Note how it's slightly favoring the right side of the pocket, ever so slightly. If he cut it a bit too thin, it runs into the green 6. Really a great couple of shots here from Bergman with the safety preceding that beautiful pot.
Yeah, he certainly looks the more in tune than both players at the minute.
Shot that 3 relatively quickly, too. He saw he had the half a pocket, chalked up, got down, and rifled it in. It's a sign of a confident player.
Yeah, and he's always finding the right side of the ball, isn't he? There you see, just a nice angle to spin this round. 2 to 3 rails, using the 3rd rail. Makes the game a lot easier. Three to 2, USA lead.
Thank you, sir.
So So if you were a betting man, Carl, which, you know, I'm sure you are, what would you make the odds on the Cup, just instinctually, Team USA, Team Europe?
Well, to be honest, I think I've chopped and changed my mind as the days have gone on, and I'm still undecided. I won't
Fair
lie.
enough.
I think I was slightly favouring on USA when I seen they picked Bergman, but as time's gone on, I think I've switched over to the side of Europe again. I've kind of studied a bit more, and I think all
Current
year,
score
I
is
think
3-2, Team USA,
the
Team
Europeans,
USA to break.
they've won or placed high in all the big majors. We've got, you know, David Alcade wins the World Pool Masters.
Sure.
World Cup of Pool was a European team, Austria, Albin and Mario He. So there's 3 guys who are not even in the team who've won big majors. And Jason snaps off the International Open just a week or 2 ago. Obviously, Joshua Filler finished 3rd. Joshua Filler's probably had the greatest season of anybody in 9-ball pool history, what he's won. And
it's pretty remarkable how many
yeah.
tournaments Filler snapped off.
The big
Bergman,
ones.
of course, delighted to have a nice look at the one. Yeah, big ones. A young man, too.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
very
20,
poised under the lights.
Yeah, he's
wants to be there.
Phenomenal talent and just got a great eye for the ball, you know, just such a great potter, and he knows the game inside and out, as you said, at a young age. So I don't know, and I just think, like last year, I think Europe didn't look quite good together, but I think after day 1, maybe they had sort of day 1 halfway through day 2, I think they didn't get off to the best of starts. They were slow out the blocks, but I think as the event went on, they kind of just got used to things a little bit more. And even though Kazakis and Kachi have only played in 1 Mosconi and they've lost 1, at least they've had a feel and they know what to expect now, so there's no excuses. So I expect big performances from both them guys.
And I mean, when Kachi goes off, it's also a sight to behold. I mean,
yeah, just a different type of player,
talent, you know, powerful, just really an animal.
But you know yourself, in anything, you always prefer to watch that fast kind of natural player. So whenever you've got a player who's a bit more slow and, you know, deliberate, it's not as easy on the eye, is it, even though it's as effective?
Right. That's exactly right. Bergman overcooks the mark here slightly. I played in the top left. Looks like he's looking at the top right. Come around for the 7-9 combo. Both are options.
Yeah, I think this is a case of just make your ball. If you make your ball, you're on the hill, you would think. And nothing's told us he's going to miss this. He's looked flawless so far.
Yeah, he looks good out there.
Yeah, so as you were saying, I did one of the off-the-rail interviews. You can catch that on the Mosconi Cup Facebook page. We'll be sending plenty of more content out there over the next few days. And I was favouring USA, but I have switched over to the Europeans. Lovely shot. You wouldn't put that better with your hand, would you?
Just gorgeous. 1, 2, 3, 4 around, dead center of the hole. Yeah, I think the consensus around the pool world is the Europeans are favorites, even though they're coming off of the loss last year. Bergman is atop the hill.
Thank you, sir.
But, of course, Team USA has something to say about that. And the great thing about it is they're going to sort it all out next week. So.
Yeah, I feel like there's a few key factors, me. I think Kazakis, Kachi, I think they're the big key factors. Obviously, Niels, he's played in it 13, 14 times. And I was a bit shocked Marcus didn't pick Albin, but as I've had time to reflect, I fully understand why he's picked Niels, because he's got all the experience, right? And I just think Kazakis and Kachi, if they come and they play just up a notch, that little bit stronger, I don't see any weaknesses in Team Europe. But with Team USA, I think certainly off the last 2 days, watch Billy not quite looked at the races. And Tyler Steyer had a great cup last year, but he's not quite looked at the races yet. And I'm just looking at what all the European guys have done in the individual events, and they're coming here with so much confidence. That's the thing. There's not a little bit of doubt in anyone's mind.
Fair enough. Hard to argue with that analysis. Nothing down. Luckily left him safe. And a tricky push out. Maybe he makes the 9 and sort of just tries to leave him hooked and take it from there. Don't think you want to push and leave that 9 hanging. Maybe you do, though. We'll see.
It's not often you
Push
see
out.
the pros pop the 9 ball on a push out, but we've seen it twice in this match.
Yeah.
Well, where's the
Oh,
9
my.
ball? Has he held the spot?
I think so. And we see a little display of emotion there from Bergman, smacking his cue down. He's obviously pretty disgusted with this. Maybe the 9 goes behind the cue ball, though. We'll see momentarily. It's touchy. If the cue ball were behind the spot,
he's put it on top, but I don't
think
know
it
what the
fits
rule is.
behind. He just got away with that. If the cue ball were an inch or 2 lower,
it spots above.
It would be frozen on the back of the 9, but as we see, he does pull it off. It's a little tricky, though, to be jacked up over it, but a far cry from being frozen behind it, of course. Bergman back to the table.
So if the cue ball is on the spot, the 9 ball goes above the cue ball.
Yeah, I think it's halfway. They measure if it's if the cue ball are on the spot, the 9 would go behind it. Yeah, I think if it's halfway below the spot, then it goes in front.
Right. So he needs a little bit of help. And
looks like he got it. Got a lot of help, Carl. Wow.
Yeah.
Does
John's
have a
had his
one-rail
fair
kick.
share of luck in this match so far, so he's probably...
But it was all confined to that one rack, though, unfortunately. If you could just spread the luck out.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's a chance to leave him safe, though. Jeremy was talking about this earlier. Whenever you're kicking on the 1, all these balls on the table can help you out. Make contact. Goes without saying, but it's the left side of the 1. Might have a chance to make it in the side. And if he doesn't, he's coming down towards the 4-9-7 and maybe leave Justin hooked. Let's see. He's definitely trying to make this 1 in the side, though, the right-hand side. Carries natural position as well. Oof.
Good effort, Mr. Morrow. Well, I think you'll see. Will he shoot at the bank here and just draw the cue ball back?
I think so.
Yeah, he's got
sort of a two-way shot. Also, rates to make it. At the very least, it's 50-50-ish.
Yeah, you kind of feel like. I mean, he has got quite an easy.
To duck behind the pink.
Yeah,
it's true.
But I'd fire at the bank, really.
Yeah,
you expect these boys to make these type of bank shots, don't you? So.
Yeah.
If not, he's going to hit the knuckle, isn't he? So he's always going to be close.
Thank you.
And it's worth going for because if you make it, the table layout is so nice that you figure to run out if you're Justin Bergman. Whereas if something was a little funkier, maybe you would have ducked behind that pink 4 and tried to get ball in hand. But as we see, great chance to close this thing out. Carl in the warm-up match does nudge the 9. Didn't want to do that, but he's still fine. All he has to do is make the 3 pretty much with the pink hanging. Would have liked to be a little closer to his work, but USA on the hill.
Yeah, you're just not sensing a mistake, though, are you? That's the thing.
Watch the 8. Comes across enough. Thought at first he was trying to hold it close to the rail, use a high ball, try to come out to the center of the table, but you know.
Yeah, it's a smart shot because he didn't want to power it, and he obviously didn't want to try and kill the shot, so he knows he's got the angle here.
Yeah.
So he's okay.
Real nice there.
Little short, though, just a little short.
I heard Jeremy Jones in the background say skid. Maybe it did hop a little on him, but he should be okay. As Carl said, it is a bit short. Gonna use a touch of right-hand spin here, come 1-2 across. Be a little bit jacked up here, Carl. He should be okay, but if you're jacked up, things can go wrong.
Yeah, I've said it before, though. He looks in tune of his game, but whenever you're jacked up, you can put a little bit of side
Oh,
on.
my.
Yeah, there you go. He missed it by a mile.
He really did. That was so thick and got away with murder a little bit there to not sell the game out. Yeah, I mean, that's a bad miss there. As Carl was just saying, I mean, jacked up. If you put a little spin that you don't mean to, the cue ball literally curves from the initial stroke, and that's what happened there to Justin. More with a safety shot. See what he comes with.
Needs the 9 ball. Needs this 9 ball because this will be.
Yeah, this is shootable, whether the bank or the cut. He has left Bergman with an offensive look. You don't want to give these guys too many chances. Great players tend to make up for their mistakes on the next shot by coming with something. Sort of a trait you champions possess. You slice this guy in, Carl? He's jacking up a little bit. Maybe he's coming behind the 7.
He's going rail first. Is he snookered?
I think he's
know.
coming behind the 7. He's banking it.
Stay over that pocket 6 ball. Come on.
Ooh,
wow.
I don't know. The bank is definitely an option. He's looking to see if the combination is wired. But I don't think he can make the 6 in the bottom left-hand pocket, right, Carl? I know, there's steam coming off of Carl. I mean, listen, I mean.
Come on, just get it to the hill.
Looks like he's
It's all or
banking it,
nothing.
I believe.
Yeah, he's got a bank drawback. It's all or nothing, right? At this level, these guys should make these banks. Yeah. And he's sold out by the looks of it.
Yeah, this should do it. Just a little thick, Carl. A little bit of work here. The 9 looms large for natural position, so Bergman does have to show us something. Watch out, 9 ball, Carl.
Oh.
Did he get there? He did not get there.
He slammed his chalk down.
He did. I mean, he's got a little jump if inclined. Looks like that's.
Do you play the jump or
the
do
way
you
to
play
go.
safe? I think you got the jump shot, don't you?
I mean, I'm an old man. I grew up kicking the balls, so I'm playing safe. But you guys, you know, I think we're going jump cue here.
Yeah, I mean, in the world of today, it's a hanger, isn't it?
Boy.
Need the cue ball off the top rail, though.
Leave an awful lot of distance, so he'll be testing Johnny Mora, but he has to be just delighted to get back to the table after missing the bank.
I just don't fancy him for this, though. You know when you just think.
He looks a little bit out of sorts, but
yeah, and it's a tough shot as well.
He's a world-class player, so world-class players rise up in these moments. Must-make ball here for Team CSI. Johnny Mora.
Oh, that's
beautiful.
Lovely. Jacked up Johnny Mora. Good shot there. And this is what I love about these race to 5s in team events, because even if you're 4-0, 4-1, you're still there. Just a couple of racks and the pressure switches back over.
Absolutely.
And Bergman knows he should have won this match. So this is a big 8 ball, though. Needs to hit this smooth. You don't want to be hitting this too hard. Oh, that's nice.
Beautiful stroke there. Clutch stuff from Johnny Mora. Coming with that 7 ball, a little jacked up, as Carl was saying. Smooths the 8 ball. Just has to put this 9 down and make it 4-3. You know Bergman is sick right now in his chair. Had a couple of chances to close out this match. It's not easy to close in pool. Sometimes it's tough to get off of that hill, especially with the lead. Everybody's been there who plays the game. 4-3. Mora's still in it. Bergman to break. We've got ourselves a match. If you're just tuning in, this is the warm-up for next week's festivities, the Moscone Cup, live from the Mandalay Bay, the 25th through the 28th. If you're in the States, check it out on DAZN. In the UK, Sky Sports Arena and Mix. Events being brought to you by the illustrious Matchroom Multi-Sport Matchroom Pool, Team USA versus Team Europe. First things first, they need to get past this Team CSI, and they just had a great chance that slipped through their fingers as Bergman made a couple of errors.
I always like it if you make a mistake at this game, the very next rack you face with problems on the table. I don't like it when the balls forgive you and give
You want the pool gods to kind of punish you a little bit, right?
Current score is 4-3. Team USA. Team USA to break on the hill for the round and the match.
Ooh.
Wow, lost a cue ball there, didn't he?
He did. Nothing down. The one's trickling over. Don't know if the bank goes by the 3. If it does, the 3-9 carom looks to be on. Carl, what are you seeing?
I think the bank does definitely go. It's just a case of how do you get on your 2 ball.
Maybe you float up to play the 2 by the 7 kind of / two-way shot a little bit, or?
Yeah, I hear you. The bank's definitely on.
And do you think the 3-9 carom is on, or does the 3 just go?
Good question. Don't know. I'll pass on that one.
First things first. Oh, beautiful shot from Mora.
Oh, I thought he'd scratched then. Good bank, though.
Maybe he can come with a high ball, go into the pink, and just kind of nestle downwards towards the 3, whether if for the carom or if the 3 goes, just to get position straight away. I think he is going into the 4 here. Not certain, though. And as he's looking at it, he might have half a pocket. Maybe the 7
Extension, please.
can offer some carom prospects, but it's frozen. So you have to be careful because the double kiss can loom very large.
Come on, Johnny Morrow. Let's find someone. Let's get this match hill.
A tricky little shot here with that 7 frozen, half a pocket. Do you just kind of play to pot it cleanly?
Yeah, but it's always in the back of your mind.
Right.
Isn't it? You want that,
right.
but you just know it's there, don't you?
If he hits a 7 full, it could go wrong.
And if he flicks the right rail, he'd have to hit it thin.
Oh, that's a beautiful
Oh,
execution there, and that's unlucky for the 4 to hit the rail and nudge the 9 to where he's safe.
Yeah, can he play thin off the bottom of it? Can he do that?
He has a few safety options. Don't know about the bank combo. I'm assuming that's a kiss or something. Maybe it could throw where you go up table. If the combo goes, great, and if not, we're up table, but it's probably a double kiss.
He's looking at Summit. I know that. Is he looking at getting cue ball up table?
So.
Is it full? No, it's no good.
All right, he didn't sell out just a straight in, which is nice, but
he's got a bank though, hasn't he? And the 4 balls down here, and it's not a difficult bank. These boys doing stroke, he'll go close to this. I think he's more favourite to make this bank than miss it.
You're talking about top left. You don't think the 6 is an issue?
Yeah. No, I don't.
And kind of run the cue ball into the 9 maybe, and
yeah, and depends how he plays his cue ball. Well, I don't think the 6 is in the way. I don't.
If he can see the right-hand side of the 3, he could just play safe, try to just drag it behind the 4. Or maybe even bank it in the top right and play a 2-way shot. Goes what Carl said. Splits the hole, just as you foreshadowed. You had a bad feeling about that one. And
yeah, noticed how he played the cue ball. He played it how he likes to hit it. Comes round his 2, hit it confident, and you would think it's match over.
Got a little bit of work here. Coming between the 6-8, the 7 is sort of a factor, and if he comes across like he was just looking at, he's a little thin. So this 4 to the 5 is no picnic, especially after you had some problems last rack. Looks like he
needs it to slow down, you know.
I was about to say perfect, but did speed up a little bit.
Though,
maybe the extension, maybe the bridge, some work to be done. Similar angle to the one that he missed last rack. Different kind of stroke that he'll be putting on it.
Well, he can
Looks like he can reach it.
Well, that's a result then. If he couldn't reach it, it could have caused a few little problems, but that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, that's perfect. He can just draw this cue ball back 2 or 3 inches. It'll naturally move over to the left side. So John Morris had plenty of chances in this match. Bergman's played well. other than the shot he missed when he was jacked up, but we've all missed them. Other than that, he's looked real solid to me, and 5-3 win for Team USA's probably a fair result on reflection.
Do you gravitate more towards a high ball off the top rail or to just stun it over?
Top rail, I think. Just use 2 rails, don't you?
Nicely done.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And what a warm-up match it's been. Just wants to get a little bit off the rail. When you're a little bit nervy, you don't want to be frozen. He does punch it off. This should do it. Bergman closes it out.
Team USA wins 5-3.
Team USA takes it down here in the Moscone Cup warm-up. You already know what it is. The real deal starts next week, the 25th through the 28th. Sure, the Americans are happy to close this one out. Wasn't a walk in the park, though. CSI put up a good fight. As far as next week, it's live from Mandalay Bay. The 25th through the 28th. If you're in the States, catch it on DAZN. If you're in the UK, catch it on Sky Sports Arena and Mix. Brought to you by Matchroom Pool, Matchroom Multisport. Been a pleasure sweating these boys. I'm sure they're off to hit a bunch of balls. Carl's out of here already.
Justin?
I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.
Nice match for the team, sir. Doing well. Nice match. Shane? Nice match, sir. Nice match, man.
Congratulations to our warm-up match winners, Team USA. And now to present the trophy from Matchroom Multisport Chief Operating Officer, Emily Fraser. Congratulations to Team USA, 5-3 winners over Team CSI. Of course, they'll be going to defend the Party Poker Moscone Cup at the Mandalay Bay Resort next week. Watch it live in the USA on DAZN, DAZN.com to sign up. We do hope you'll join us at the Mandalay Bay next week as Team USA go for the repeat.